fun live stream. Happy National Bowling Day. I'm Blair Blumenscheid, and I am joined by none other than Liz Johnson. Liz, welcome to the SYC Idaho.
Well, thank you, Blair. Thanks for having me this lovely weekend, and it's my first time in Idaho. Pretty exciting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's my first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we've been doing a lot of seminars. Yesterday, we even had a bowling dog match, which I don't think any of us could actually say we've watched that in person in real life.
No.
Have you ever done that in all of your career? Have you ever seen two dogs bowl?
No, that was a lot of fun. that's the best therapy. We need more of that when we're on tour.
I agree. So we're gonna watch 5 games on the short pattern. There's 120 youth bowlers in the field. This is our first time at Westy's Garden Lanes. They've been great hosts so far, and the kids are ready to start bowling. I will put the short pattern up on the screen before they get started. So they're bowling on a 37-foot pattern with about 26 mils, it looks like. How would you attack this pattern, Liz?
Right now, it looks like the outside's gonna be the way to go. Probably right around 4, 5, 6, and then depending on what's going down the lane, probably stay there or maybe move a little left.
All right, it looks like so far that's kind of what the kids are trying to do. Just in practice, that's what I've been watching a little bit.
I feel like if they get, depending on the scoring pace, they'll probably stay in that spot. Depending how flat the pattern gets.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Now, I did hear that Westy's, the gutter doesn't always play really well here. So I think that'll come in play a little bit as we watch some of these bowlers attack the pattern. I will try to pull up some of the bios so we can talk a little bit about these youth players. I have those on my phone, so I'll be kind of scanning through. But I do know Mr. Nihal is stepping up on the lanes right there. I believe he's from California. I also need to put my glasses on because I cannot see.
That was a good shot.
That was a good shot.
Yeah. Looks like you're using a reality, which is something like this on a short pattern. You want it to kind of control the pocket a little bit, and sometimes stronger is better. It used to be where you use the weaker stuff on the short stuff, but these days you want to use even the stronger stuff because it slows it down a little bit more.
Can you say that again so that everyone at home can?
In the past, if they hook more, from my experience and all the ball reps I've been around, you don't necessarily want to use a weak ball, like something that is shiny, something that goes long and flips harder. You want to use something that's even stronger and rolls heavier, and that'll slow down in the back end, in the mid lane and the back end.
Absolutely.
Because the back ends are hooking that much more.
I think it was important to repeat that because I still hear a lot of players think, oh, it's hooking, I need a weak ball. And what you just said is so important, and it is something that a lot of coaches are teaching now. Like, don't be afraid of the stronger balls on the shorter patterns.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great tip.
Yeah. Stronger balls or medium balls, depending on, you might want to actually start on with the medium ball and then go back to a stronger ball to slow it down.
I love it. We do have Miss Caitlin Abaganya delivering the shot on lane 13. She is on Team USA. She's a past junior gold champion. She also is an SYC champion, multi-SYC champion. And she's part of our evolution team on Storm. So she is quite the up-and-coming young player.
Actually, that was a good example with the slower, stronger ball because she just threw a gem.
Right.
The gem is one of the earliest ones and slows down.
All right, I'm getting into my my handy dandy live stream questionnaire. Now, the test will be who has filled out that questionnaire. This was emailed to the athletes prior to the event. That doesn't always mean it gets done, as we all know.
Priorities, right?
Right.
Priorities.
Absolutely. I see Miss Sapphire stepping up on lane 14. Sapphire's from California. She also is a past SYC champion. I do have a bio for Sapphire. She's from Rockland, California. Her favorite pro bowler is Rocio Restrepo.
Great shot.
She bowled the Women's U.S. Open in 2021 when it was a double-decker lane. So she's already tested the waters in the next step, right? PWBA.
Yeah. Just from watching them a couple shots, it looks like that 5, 6, 7 area is looking pretty good. You don't want to go too past that.
All right. If Liz says it, that's what we're going to do, I think. That's what we should do. I'm going to need to find my iPad. I don't know where it is, but if anyone in the building finds Blair's iPad, bring it to her. Oh, man. So, Liz, you just wrapped up the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So, but you were really, I thought you gave some very educational moments yesterday in the seminar. You were not as pleased with this season as others, I would imagine, right?
Right. I had my moments. Every year is a learning experience, and after so many years on tour, I learned my lesson that I have to go back and, everyone has to work a little harder, and, I'm going to hopefully be ready for 23 season, but, it was consistent, but did I want to win? Of course. But again, you just learn.
Absolutely.
You live and learn, and do your best and move on.
Yeah, and I think that's a really great lesson. I mean, you shared that yesterday in the seminars, and you shared some tips for kids. There's a lot of new bowlers at this event. So I think nerves are at a high this morning where they're just kind of getting, and, I believe that the short pattern might be one of you're not ever like, oh no, it's a short pattern, right? But some of these kids, when they show up, they do not enjoy the short pattern.
No.
Most of them.
No.
So I think you shared some really great wisdom, and I just want to thank you for being here and sharing that and continuing to share it, because I think it's important kids know, like, no matter what happens, you're going to learn something, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I said yesterday, I'm bowling on tour for 26 years and I'm still learning. But, yeah, I mean, I've been a Storm staffer for, I think, almost 18 years now. And, they've given me so much. And, least I can do is return the favor just even a little bit. Can never thank them enough for what they've done for my career.
Yeah.
I love them dearly.
But we love you, too, and we really appreciate you being with the kids. So Joshua Abaganya, who just delivered the shot on 13, he is starting off with a double. Shake it off. I want to start with a double.
Yeah, right? Yeah. One thing they got to learn, too, coming in something like this is it's maybe very cliche, but it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
So if you have a bad first game or even bad first couple frames, it's not the end of the tournament. And that's where, bowling gets so mental.
Yes.
That you can't you can't worry about even that first game.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I don't know, we'll share the format. So these players today are bowling on 5 games on the short pattern this morning. They'll come back in the afternoon and they'll bowl 5 games on the medium pattern. And then tomorrow morning, they'll bowl 5 games on the long pattern. So when you have 15 games, and as you said, each round is a new round. So you can actually, you can earn a gold medal on the short and maybe not have the best round on the medium, and then come back and still be the overall champion.
Absolutely.
And vice versa, right?
Absolutely.
If you start poorly on the short, come back and have great medium and long, you could be the overall champion. We've even had a few times, and I think Jillian Martin did this once, and I could be wrong. Someone will correct me. But I'm pretty sure that Jillian at one tournament did not get any medals and won the overall champion trophy and medal in that round.
She could have been that much where you're really consistent, but just out of the medal,
right,
would still be up there.
Right. And just exactly was inconsistency. Yeah. That's what we always talk about. It's, as you're learning, like as a youth bowler, so many of your tournaments at the national level, like a junior gold or like an SYC, are really spread across different patterns. So that consistency part, which I think you're the best example of consistency. I mean, when I watch your scores, most of the time you don't have super highs and lows. You're making spares. You're really consistent.
Lately, they've been medium to low, not too many highs.
Well, I wasn't watching them that closely, Liz. I was rooting you on, but I don't like looking and saying, "Oh no, Liz,
Yeah.
my coffee buddy."
Right?
But
It's all about the coffee.
all about the coffee, always. Looks like people are saying we might be a little low, so I'm gonna start playing with the volume. So maybe
Mine low.
I think we're good. Maybe make sure. I think we're. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So Sapphire. Oh, I did. No. Oh, it was Joshua had a triple.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we had a turkey. And you know what happens on the next time? I'm gonna put up my special slide of the. We have a strike tracker it's a strike alert brought to you by Blake and Adam. Because if you were in the building yesterday, you know that Blake will let you know when there's a strike happening. He is a loud barker.
Yeah, and he was. I had some family and friends yesterday who watched it. They said Blake was running that out.
He totally ran it out.
He totally knew he got a strike.
Oh my gosh, I clipped that video. Maybe I'll play it later. I don't have it loaded in, but I clipped the video of him running out a strike, and it was awesome.
Yeah, because I think before that they were wondering if he knows if he bowls, he throws a good shot or not. And that after that strike, you knew he threw a shot.
Yeah,
a good shot.
Well, I think what's interesting too, and I was kind of trying to, as we're watching dogs bowl, like give some tips to the SYC athletes as well. Because the one thing I love about Blake, he actually stands on his little ramp and watches the ball hit the pins.
He posts his shot.
He
posts his shot. He puts his paws on the ramp until the ball hits the pins.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, that's a good lesson for us. Like, look, Blake watches his ball hit the pins.
Yep.
Why are you not?
Right.
So I love it. Caitlin is sparing. She's got 9 spare, 9 spare, 7 spare. Mr. Jance, who's stepping up, he started with that rough split. It looked like it just took off on him the first frame, but he's recovered nicely with a strike and 9 spare and 7 pin. Tyler Ortola, for those watching at home, they're Tyler fans. It looks like he's had the 9s this morning. Oh, and I just jinxed him.
So much great talent out here. It's amazing. The last several years, all the talent you see from all these kids from all over the country and on the West Coast, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so there's so much to bowl this weekend for kids, which is, it's just so incredible, all of the opportunities that they have. But there's a couple there's a Pba Junior national event, which Pba Junior is a really gracious sponsor of this event as well, and we love having them on board. So kids had to choose which event that they were going to bowl in, and we still have some bowlers here that are SYC champions. We have several, but we also have a lot of bowlers that maybe have never bowled in SYC before, and they're testing the waters, which I think is great. And as you said, the West Coast, they don't always get the big events coming out to the West Coast because there's not as large bowling centers on the West Coast. So it's very difficult for bigger events like maybe a Junior Gold to come out to the West Coast. So it's really cool to see some faces we've never seen before.
Yeah. Yeah, when they were asking yesterday the first time SYCs, there was a lot of people that raised their hands.
Yeah, I was impressed. I think Leanne said it's like 40% of the field, 40 or 50% of the field is first-time SYC bowlers.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm putting the short pattern up again. We've had a couple questions. What is the lane pattern? This is what they're bowling on this morning. Liz talked a little bit earlier about where she'd play. I agree. It's kind of obvious when you look at the lane pattern that you should be playing to the right.
It's just a matter right now. I think it's a matter of getting the right angle because I know there's one maybe pitch black and maybe they're getting a little carry down. Or
Sure.
they're getting a little hook early, so you might have to make it a little adjustment. And it's really easy when you have some urethane or people playing different parts of the lane, and the carry down it changes really quick. So you got to be. You think it's you, and it's not. It's the lane that's dictating the ball reaction.
All right. So since we have you in the booth, I'm going to ask you some questions about learning to play the short pattern because I think some of the stuff you've already brought up is great.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So if you're a player maybe that isn't comfortable with playing the gutter, which I know you're not,
No.
or I mean you are comfortable with playing the gutter.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for people about learning to practice that part of the lane?
Just I mean honestly, just get yourself to get your feet far enough right, almost stand in the gutter and just keep their own shots. Whether you're getting the gutter, it's okay. If it's practice, it's practice. Practice. That's what practice is for. And the way I grew up years ago, our coach, he would stand 50 feet down the lane, and you have to go around them, or he'd take the cones. Kids can do that too. Take the cones and try to throw around the cones. Just to be
Yeah, I
able
love that drill.
Just do drills like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, or put some tape on the lanes and start doing that. And because I have sometimes difficult doing the opposite, sometimes playing in or with my ball speed or whatever. But yeah, just practicing angles like that, trying to go up the gutter, try to flatten your hand and let the ball. Depending how they throw the ball, if they come around it a little bit more, to have them almost back up the ball a little bit to get it going more forward.
I love that. And I love that you said in practice, don't worry if you're thrown in the gutter. Because I think that is always what I hear kids that are afraid of playing the gutter. They're afraid of throwing it in the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
In practice, you don't have to be afraid.
No.
Like I think even our friend Colt, who just threw that shot, I think he could move his feet further to the right and throw the exact same shot, and that would have struck on the last shot. And that was a great shot, but that first one, it just looked like he was a little too far to the left with his feet. He could creep a little bit further.
Yeah, they may have to start migrating a little left. And some who are a little bit right may have to go the other way.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's all about the angle. That's going to be tricky as it evolves.
Sometimes the first game is definitely tricky. Like when you first start out in practice, you see it. All you do is see the ball hooked, and then it carries down, depending how much urethane or whatever is being thrown.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that first game or even the second game, the transitions can transition a couple times. And even now learning when the ball, you see the ball hook, or is it hooking too early, or is it not hooking enough? I mean, I've been told, is my ball burning up? No, it's not hooking enough yet.
Right.
So that's still hard to detect too from as a bowler your eyes. So kids, it's hard.
I think
ball
that
reaction is hard.
That is, and anyone that's competing, these kids compete so much, so they get really good really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And what you just talked about, like seeing the lane front to back, is what I always hear like tour reps talk about, or coaches when they're talking to kids about getting to that next level. And that's exactly what you were just discussing, right? So seeing where your ball actually is hooking, and understanding, okay, is my ball, like Caitlin's
really
shot right there was great,
really shot.
right?
Yep.
And she's using a very strong ball, slow response, but it's reading the lane pattern exactly as it should.
Exactly.
Now another ball may be burning up. So and burning up means that it's not getting to the head pin, and it's all of its energy is being used up in the first part of the lane. So I think it's great to. That's really the next step in understanding ball motion. if you're one of these youth players that's watching back later, because we know that there's a lot of replays, or if you're a coach at home or a parent, like teaching them, it's not just about striking, right? If it was
No.
about striking, then the game would be easy.
Right. You got to make your spares. The harder the pattern, the more important the spares are.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we'll see that this weekend. We got a question: how old are these youth players? So there's actually there's 6 divisions at the SYC. 3 age divisions. So we have U12, U15, and U18. And I'm going to already correct myself because there's only 5 this weekend. Our U12 is a mixed division this weekend. We don't have girls and boys. So some girls chose to, the U12 will bowl up in the U15 division if they're kind of close to that age range. So and then we have girls and boys. So U12, U15, and U18 are the age divisions.
So great they get to travel with the age that they're at. I don't think I started traveling until I was probably my senior year of high school.
Right.
And then after I graduated high school. So.
Well, I think it's important because, if a lot of these kids have aspirations to either bowl in college or maybe bowl at the professional level, and traveling is part of it.
Yeah.
Both of those.
Oh, yeah. A lot of sacrifices in traveling, especially now.
Yeah.
So. Nice little mixer by Caitlin for a double.
Should I put up my strike alert? I'm just going to do it. I'm putting my strike alert up. Blake and Adam are on the screen.
Yes. Oh, love that.
See if Josh, he's on his spares. Maybe the puppies will bring him good luck.
There you go.
Ah, it did. Man.
That was a good shot with that ball, that Cosmos.
Yeah.
Got the Cosmos going. Yeah, you're right about when they said maybe the gutter. I think their gutter needs to be like 4 or 5 on this right now.
Oh, yeah. So jump in a little bit.
Yeah.
Our friend Christine Sheen has joined the chat. Christine, we are missing you this weekend too. Harley, who has bowled almost every SYC since it was started in 2017, he's off to Mount Mercy University for college. So it's always bittersweet when we watch these kids grow up.
I bet. You're watching from probably 12, 13
Yeah.
up until into college.
Yeah. This year, actually this season, I know for a fact our U12 girls champion in the 2017 tournament, so our first U12 girls champion, graduated.
Oh, wow.
So that was like, when I realized that, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, but I think our U12 boys champion, I think he has one more year as youth. That was Pedro Irizarry from Puerto Rico.
Oh.
But I think he has one more year. I'm not sure, though.
Great shot by Sapphire right there.
Really great. Okay, so I have a special note brought to me by Coach Jasmine. Nihal finished 50th in the U18 division at Junior Gold this year, and he was the highest male finisher from California. So we're watching him bowl, and he reached the highest mark for all of the California bowlers in Junior Gold. Pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I have to find my iPad to find all the bios. So sorry, friends, that I'm not sharing if you filled out your bio. I'll go find my iPad. I forgot.
Sure, it's got to be here somewhere. Right?
I know.
You have on your phone Find My iPad?
I think I do, actually. I know. I think it's in the room. I don't know.
Good double by Josh.
Really great. Oh, wait. I forgot my strike alert. I'm just going to leave it up. I'm going to leave Blake and Adam's strike alert up.
It just makes you smile.
I know. Right? I mean, we do have a strike alert for Mr. Colt because he's up and he has a double. I'd probably just jinxed it, but it's fine. It's going to happen on the short pattern. Gutters are going to happen.
Yeah.
These kids are bowling on a very difficult pattern. So have you ever thrown a gutter in a tournament?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Especially on the short, right?
Yeah. Probably hit my ankle or something.
Yeah. Always, right? You have to come back with the excuse. Tyler, come back with the.
Right.
Although he did look down and check to see if his foot might have stuck. I like. Which it very well could have. Got it. Good shot by Tyler. I'm liking all the Hawaii-looking jerseys this morning. People are feeling very.
A lot of floral.
Yeah.
I like the floral.
It's like summery and.
Summer's almost gone though, for some of the
Sad.
kids.
I know.
I think school starts like in the next 2 weeks or so for a lot of kids.
And some already told me that they started. Already.
That's crazy.
I know.
Growing up, we didn't start till Tuesday or Wednesday after Labor Day.
Yeah. I was usually right around Labor Day. Like they would start us the weekend before so that I think that we could have a 4-day week the first week.
Yeah.
So it always was like 3 days, 4 days, then you hit 5 days, which was nice. But I can't believe kids start earlier. And my high school didn't have air conditioning, so I couldn't imagine going earlier in August.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been, I think, 30 years since I graduated high school now, so it's, I don't think we had AC back then. They do now.
Oh, rough break for Sapphire. That's a tricky spare, though. Baby splits are hard. Now, the Abagana family, they seriously, both of these kids work very hard on their games, and their family is very, very nice. So I always enjoy seeing them. Not that all of the SYC families are nice. I've met the nicest people at all of the SYCs, and this weekend especially, I've had some great conversations. Have you gotten any tips of where to go in Idaho for your first time?
No, I have not. It's a short trip.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a lot of extra time.
Yeah.
You have to get some French fries, though.
Oh.
That's the key. Idaho potatoes, Idaho fries.
Yeah.
We've taken you to Mexican food. I think we've failed on your fries.
Yeah, I had a salad for Mexican food. It was one of the best salads I've had.
Oh, good.
So.
We'll find you some Idaho potatoes.
I love food, so, I mean, potatoes, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I get to make the short trek to Utah. So
yeah, you're coming back with us. We're going to do some videos. We're going to.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. It'll be fun. Our friend Hosan is in the chat. I know you've seen Hosan all summer. He's awesome.
He's a great guy. Great supporter. Sweet kid. Believe he got stuck in Chicago. He was.
Oh no.
Yeah. He said.
You're going to France.
Yes, going to France in September. Going on the promotion tour with a couple of the ladies, and should be fun. Looking forward to it. It's the first time in France in like 10 years, so looking forward to that.
Are you going to go and check out the Eiffel Tower again, or?
I'll go see it. I don't know if I'm going to go up it.
Okay.
I don't think I went up it the last time. I just took some pictures and stuff like that. But they said we're going to have a lot of some time to do sightseeing and stuff like that. So it's probably a very good possibility.
Great. That's cool. Because that's always the fun part. And I think a lot of these youth bowlers are learning, too, as they travel, finding those landmarks or finding things to do in the state. Because you never know. Like, you know, you could be going to the SYC in Idaho and you may never make it back to Idaho again. So checking off a little one or two things. Do you collect anything from the places you go?
I really don't, because I am a Starbucks person.
Yes.
They used to have the travel mugs for Starbucks. So any country or city, um, I would travel and I go to the Starbucks and get the travel mug.
Yeah.
And I have probably like 5 or 6 of them, not a real lot, but when I went to Tokyo, when I went to Abu Dhabi,
That's cool.
some of the farther away places, I like to collect those, but I don't think they really do those too much anymore. But I've never been a big collector.
Yeah.
And actually, from all the places I've been to, city-wise, when we bowled on tour, I
You
never
have a
really
lot
got
of
to.
stuff.
I didn't really visit a lot of stuff.
Oh,
I
true.
didn't really have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So
Nice shot by Caitlin. Double. So we are getting down into the 10th frame. It looks like the bowlers will be moving. They are skipping 2 pairs, so we'll get a new set of bowlers that come here for the next game. And it looks like everything is moving right along. And Liz, we will have you back in, but I think Coach Jazz now is going to come in at next game and do some commentary. But don't worry, we will.
I'll be around.
We will have you back in to do some additional commentary. It's always fun to hear your side of things. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Well, thanks for having me here again. It's an awesome experience. It was fun. Just fun to see all the young talent out here.
Does it inspire you, or does it like? Because for me, sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, man, I am putting away my shoes. These kids are unbelievable. But it's so inspiring, right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And makes you want to go home, and I gotta practice that much more for bowl against the young kids.
Yeah. They're crazy good. I mean, they're just the thing that I see a lot too is the fundamentals, right? Like I don't remember when I was a youth bowler, which it was a long time ago, but I don't remember everyone being so fundamentally sound.
Right.
Like at the line, we were falling off our shots, and that's what they were coaching us on. But you don't see that as much anymore.
No.
Which is just a testament to the coaches in the United States. Like they're doing a great job with these youth athletes.
Yeah, everything's starting earlier, and the equipment, and again the coaching, and everything is just so awesome.
Totally agree. All right, that was a really rough break for Colt. He started his game with a split. He recovered.
We can finish this off with a spare, and
I like
move
that.
on to the next game.
Yeah, because this game could have been a lot more.
So
good try.
I don't know what's worse, if you just get the one pin the way it is, or you just miss it by like a fraction of a board.
Right. Well, I think it was smart of him to go for that because he was on an open, so really it didn't make that much of a difference. But I agree, that feeling.
Yeah, that's the only thing is, I mean, I know it's early on, but sometimes you like to see the kids go for the wood.
Yeah.
Because you never know when that one pin, or if you did that every single game for 15 games, it could be a lot.
Yeah.
It's still early.
Yeah, we talked about that in the seminar. One of the parents asked you, like, when do you go for it or do you go for count? And
it just depends on the situation. If you're my opinion, if you're in a match, like a 1-game match, and it's like the 10th frame, you have to go for it.
Right.
But if it's a long format tournament
and there's no match play,
it could be in the 10th frame. Especially if you're on a strike, 1 pin can be 2 pins, or 2 pins can be 4 pins.
Yeah.
And I bowled with like double situations or whatever, and I've seen them just dump it in the gunner on a 6 count. I'm like, sometimes or I've done it myself, not by choice, but by accident. I want to kick myself for losing all those pins.
Yeah. Yeah, at least get as many as you can.
Yep. I've done that out of frustration too. You miss spares, or miss something out of frustration, and where you got to keep your head, keep your head in check and just move on.
Yeah.
That's why, again, we say it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Especially this weekend for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. By bowling, you get to the higher the level, or any level really. It's 70-80% mental and a lot of the rest physical, or even more than that mental. So
Yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot. Another thing that youth bowlers are advanced on, I hear a lot of them talking about working on their mental game at a younger and younger age. I even hear some players starting to work with sports psychologists at a young
crazy.
age, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked with a sports psychologist in your career?
Not too much. We had my first stint on Team USA '94.
Yep.
We had Dr. Eric Glasser.
Okay.
He was a really great guy to talk to. And then Dr. Dean, of course, I worked with him a little bit before I finished Team USA, probably in 2012, 2013 time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
really great psychologist.
It's important. I mean, the mental game, like you said, this is a hard sport. I mean, you're in your head a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you literally say something to yourself, even if it's a little bit negative. I think it was when Mike Jasnow was talking about, if you say something negative in your head, it's going to happen. And I am very guilty of that. It's like, don't miss, don't split in the 10th frame in your mind. You don't say it out loud, but it's in your mind, and
it still happens.
It happens. I'm like,
yeah. So Caitlin Abaganyal finished that game out with a clean 207.
Great game by Caitlin.
That was
very impressive.
Hard-working game. She has a couple of split conversions in there. Mr. Avaganya, who had how many strikes was that? 5 to end? Yeah, 5 strikes to end.
Yeah, the last 5.
Yeah.
And then the baby split with the sleeper, and he almost got that.
Almost got it.
Just a pin.
Yeah.
54 for Josh.
Really great game. That's a huge game to start. So
yeah, very good game.
All right, we are going to take a very short break while our next players are getting here, and then we'll be back. Thanks again for joining me, Liz, and we'll have you back in later.
All right, thanks for having me.
See ya. All right, welcome back. I'm still here, but now I'm joined by Coach Mike Jasnow.
Hey guys.
Welcome to the Syc Idaho booth, Jazz.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, and I'm going to turn it right over because there is no delay. The kids are starting off, and we're off and running.
That's right. Got a good group of kids in front of us this game. Have a group right here on 13, 14 from Utah, actually. A lot of our Utah friends.
Nice. It's a short drive from Utah.
Yeah, what was it? It was about 4.5, 5 hours for us.
Yeah.
So this pattern, obviously, you saw in the first game,
Tricky.
kind of a tricky pattern for short. There is that little bit of a hangout, and the middle's definitely hooked.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely a tricky pattern. I put it up on the screen for everyone to see.
Yeah.
And it is as you said, it's a short pattern. It's 37 feet, 28 mils. Is that what it is? Hang on, I'm sorry. Can't even see it. Hold on, everyone.
And this building, just pair to pair,
26 mils.
More tricky, topography-wise. I think that's why the out doesn't want to play here, as well as some other houses on short.
All right. So you were just watching. So we had talked in the booth about maybe the outside looks like it's the place to play, but the gutter didn't look like it was playing as much as maybe another house might, right?
Yeah. Yep, there's that little bit of hangout. Obviously, you can't play too far in because there's no hole, and with a shorter pattern, the ball will take off. So it is challenging, for sure. I went up and down the house. Now, you had one of the high games on the pair on the stream.
We did, yeah.
Yeah,
The
what,
250, I think
Yep.
he got up to 254 maybe?
That was the high game in the house.
Yeah.
I walked up and down. I saw two other games of about 230. And other than that, I think 211, 215 was the high game other than that.
Yeah, that
So
was by
that's,
Joshua Abaganya.
Yeah.
And he really lined up great with that pattern.
Yeah. On 11 and 12, on lane 11, we have Brianna Archibald coming up. It's kind of a funny story. She's from Boise, and she was so excited when she heard that SYC was coming to her home center. Well, then what happened is her family moved to Tennessee.
Yeah, right? Actually, I heard an even crazier story this morning about the Archibalds and Westies. Brianna's mom, Samantha, told me that not only are they from Boise and, Scott bowled here and Samantha bowled here. They had the pro shop here. They have a lot of history. Samantha and Scott met in Westies.
Oh, wow.
So actually, they met at Westies. They went on a date because Scott was working here and Sammy was working here. And so Brianna, she wouldn't even be here if it weren't for Westies. So it's pretty incredible. We're going to get a lot of stories like that with some local bowlers this weekend. We see Mr. Nicholas Reese stepping up on lane 14.
Hi, Hosan. See you in the chat there. Hope you're feeling okay. So sorry your trip was delayed to go back home.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's a bummer. I don't like that he had such a great summer and such a weird way to end it. But luckily it happened at the end and he didn't miss anything.
Exactly. See, we just wanted you here longer. That's what happened.
That's true. The Pins were just terrified of Luke. They all just dropped down. They were just.
Well, and Luke had a good first game. He actually opened the 10 for 211.
Oh,
which
wow.
is a pretty good game, actually.
See, they are afraid.
They are afraid, yes. And on the right lane here, on lane 14, we have Nick Reese, son of Clay Reese, who has a pro shop there in Lehi, Utah, a good friend of ours.
He has #Team Stew on his collar, which is obviously for Mike Segers.
Yes.
How on earth did Nicholas, Team Stew? Mike, I need to talk to our friend Mike Segers and figure out, A, why people want to be on his team. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Mike Segers is awesome. I bowl league with him, so I can give him a hard time. Cool jersey, though.
Yeah.
I like that jersey.
All right.
Nice shot.
Now, and that was good recovery because he had a foul on the first shot. Strike, foul, spare. Hey, that's the same as strike, solid 8 spare.
Absolutely.
That's where you come back from a kind of a bad incident of a foul. You come back and you pick it up. Our
Zoe Monson.
friend Gary's in the chat.
Oh, hi, Gary. We're missing you this weekend.
Exactly.
I'm gonna text my friend Leanne, who is busy running the tournament. Leanne Holsenberg. She will come into the booth, I think, next game. But I need a Wi-Fi password.
Ah. We have a shot of Brianna there on lane 12. Brooklyn, 6-pin. See a question in the chat from Ann. She says, where in Idaho? We are at Westy's Garden Lanes in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, so if you're local, come out and watch these youth bowlers. There's no admission fee. You can just come and cheer them on all weekend. Got Manny Farrell stepping up on lane 14.
He is an accomplished bowler. He's also from Utah, just south of Salt Lake. He made the Pba Junior National show last year.
That is incredible.
And there you can see a little miss left. That ball is going to just take off. So this will be a challenge mentally for a lot of these kids to just kind of hang in and get what you can get on those tougher pairs. And then when you have a pair, we have a little bit of room, you got to really take advantage. Nice spare there. That's not an easy spare on this shot, believe it or not.
It's not. Mr. Andrew Monson.
Looks good. Almost a trip two.
We were talking earlier, and maybe you can help a little bit navigate this. Liz was talking about how the angles are so important on this short pattern, right? So you could, like Andrew's shot, for example, that was a great shot, right? And he just might need to move his feet a little bit or adjust that angle just slightly, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about these angles this morning.
Correct. And you know, first couple shots on a new pair might play a little bit differently too.
100%.
So what worked on the previous pair might take him a few frames to adjust.
Yeah.
Spares is going to be a big key this weekend, I think, especially on the lower scoring patterns.
We have Miss Nevaeh Hall stepping up on 13. She's a local bowler.
Nice.
From Idaho. I believe she's from Idaho. I don't think she's from Utah.
All right, we'll take a Brooklyn.
Yeah, you'll take anything on these patterns.
That's right.
This short pattern is proving to be pretty tricky.
So when you had our friend Liz in the booth, did she bring up her match against Blake yesterday?
We talked about the match. We did not discuss how Liz's match went against Mr. Blake.
And really, in Liz's defense, the dog's got a couple practice shots.
And Blake was hot. He was warm.
And he was warmed up.
Yeah.
But Liz, we should have probably given Liz a practice shot.
I think that, well, she said she didn't need practice. She went in feeling very confident. I think she regretted that in the end.
Well, next time she bowls against a dog, I think she'll think twice about saying, I'm ready.
I did ask her if at any point in her career that she, thought she would watch two dogs bowl.
Right.
I did not ask her if she thought she'd bowl against a dog, but she did say never in a million years. But it's so fun. Wasn't that just fun?
That was fun.
And
yes, Hosan, after what we did, Blake bowled Adam, and the winner of that match got to bowl against Liz for a 9th and 10th frame roll-up. So go back and watch it. It's on the, isn't it on the Storm
Facebook page? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And our strike alert today, all day, is brought to you by Blake and Adam. You can see on our screen.
Sweet.
Nevaeh Hall was going for a turkey. I just jinxed her. So I will take down my strike alert now. But it is a fun little strike alert. Did you mention to Hosan that it was the 9th, 10th roll-off, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not a full game. Yeah, so you go to the end of the stream and you can see it. But you do want to watch the whole stream because you'll get to see Blake literally run out of strike. He ran out of strike.
That was awesome.
I have that clip. I think I need to load that in for this afternoon.
Oh, great pickup there. 3-6, 7-10. Nice pickup.
Yeah. I think we're going to see some crazy leaves and crazy pickups today all day.
See if Manny can keep it going here.
Man, his game is smooth.
Yes, that's a good shot.
So now we talked about this at the top of the show, but we could talk about it again. Today's National Bowling Day. Our friend Gary Ryan is in the chat. Hello, Gary, the great president of the AWBA. National Bowling Day. This is a great way to.
Day, Blair.
I know. Happy National Bowling Day, Coach Jazz. We're spending it in a bowling center.
Awesome.
I can't think of a better way to spend it.
Especially at an SYC.
Right? And you will see our friends.
Nice shot there.
Our friend Danielle is bowling on Fox and Friends.
That's right.
So I'm not sure. It might have already happened. I'm not sure when that actually happened. But
well, I know we first tried to get Danielle coming out here, and she said, "I'm sorry, but
I'm going to be on TV."
Exactly. I'm going to be on Fox and Friends instead. So
I can't believe
we had to settle for the GOAT, Liz Johnson.
Gee, darn. I think Danielle was more upset because she didn't get to see Blake and Adam.
She is a dog lover for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Nick Reese, 10 pin there. That's all right. A little off balance. We'll take a 9 count on a questionable shot, maybe.
Guess what? I got a Wi-Fi password. I'm trying to break in right now. And then we'll get to read some bios. But it's always a test, too, if you filled out the bio.
Ah.
What the heck? This is not working.
I have heard from a couple of the kids and a couple of the parents that the approaches are a bit slippery and slick.
Oh.
So some of the kids are fighting with footwork a little bit.
Good insider info.
I do see, just in our view here, I do see a couple of fouls, actually.
That would explain it. So, Jazz, I would like to ask you the same question I asked Liz earlier. Okay. So, we're obviously watching a short pattern. Now, regardless of whether the gutter plays here or not, these kids probably are having to play to the right with a different angle than maybe they were normally used to playing. How do you practice that in practice? How do you get ready to play the gutter or practice a short pattern?
Well, obviously, if you can actually put patterns out, that's helpful, but that's not necessary. You can just kind of work on targeting. You can use some of those little orange cones put out on a lane and, just keep the ball right at those cones. Play outside. Make sure, like, if you're trying to really play out, like maybe first arrow or even further right and kind of hit first arrow, not like swing from like 15 to 5, but really outside. Keep an eye on where you're sliding. Your feet have to be further right.
Okay.
So we don't want to be sliding around 20, trying to play straight up 5 or straight up 3. Your feet have to be over. And those are all good things to just practice when you're not in competition. So then when you're in competition, some of those different areas of the lane don't feel so foreign, and you're not afraid to go ahead and pull the trigger and play there.
Yeah. Liz said a very similar thing, and she brought up the cones, and I think you both said it. Don't be afraid to throw it in the gutter in practice, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
I don't know any high-level bowlers who have not thrown multiple gutters, even in competition. So if you're playing on shore and you've never thrown it in the gutter, you're probably not far enough right.
I like it. I totally agree with you.
There's a footing issue there again for Nick Reese.
I'm looking for some bios. Mr. Reese did not fill out his bio. Not to call him out on live stream, but Nicholas, you did not fill out your bio.
Yeah, it looks like he's changing his heel right now on his shoe. So that's a good tip. You can always change your pads and heels if the approaches are a little bit different.
Yeah, don't be afraid. That's why they make those interchangeable soles. I do have a bio for Andrew Monson, though. Andrew did fill out a bio. He's 17 years old. He's from Orem, Utah.
Nice.
Home Bowling Center's Miracle Bowl. His favorite pro bowler is Brad Miller.
Excellent. Nice.
He really likes being able to travel around and has enjoyed many neat experiences that come with bowling and family and friends.
And he's going to be on 14 right now.
Yep, and he won the Utah Pepsi tournament. Here's a fun fact. We always ask him, like, what's something that we can't tell from
Nice.
bowling
Trip
or
4.
whatever. He says that he has been ranked as high as second in the world for MLB The Show on the PlayStation. So on video games, he's been
Wow.
ranked second.
That's pretty awesome.
And he's saying hello to Grandpa, who's
Nice.
watching from home.
Well, Grandpa liked that last shot of his, trip 4.
Absolutely.
And he has a clean game going, too.
Pretty cool. I'm assuming this is his sister, Zoe Monson,
Okay.
also from Orem. Her favorite pro bowler is Danielle McEwen. She really loves bowling because she can do it with her whole family. She has the high average in her youth league for girls, and she's been playing the drums for 2.5 years. She wants to say hi to her Aunt Susan. So hi, Aunt Susan. I do not have a bio for Nevaeh, unfortunately. But I know that she really has been working really hard on her game. Oh, it looks like Aunt Susan just chimed in.
Nice.
Hi, Aunt Susan.
See what Manny can do after an open frame here. He's on lane 13. So it's going to come back. It does.
Oh, man.
Very
That came
nice.
back with a vengeance.
Yes, it did.
You can see off to the left, too, on lane 12, Miss Sophia Best. Now, let me tell you a story about Sophia.
Okay.
She is recovering from a golf cart accident.
Oh, no.
So she had, when I was just at Junior Gold, and I saw Sophia, and she's from Michigan, and her legs were completely bandaged up.
Huh.
And I said, what happened? And she told me that she had a golf accident. She could not compete at Junior Gold.
No, that's
So
a shame.
this is her first competition back. It's a shame because she's from Michigan, too. Like,
Right.
home field advantage there. I don't think there's home field advantage at Junior Gold, though, everyone.
Yeah. All right, good spare for Nick there after leaving the 10 pin on a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
Man, these spare. That anytime you leave the head pin on a short pattern, it can be a very tough spare.
Very
where there's
tricky.
Hang out and hook in.
You're good. I'm trying to fix my headset over here. It's stuck.
Here goes Andrew on lane 13. Let's see if he can pull up another strike here.
I like his release.
Yeah, very
he's,
nice. Excellent shot.
Very free release, and his hand comes all the way
Nice
through.
off his hand, nice and clean.
Wow.
There's a good double on a clean game.
Andrew, I need a lesson.
Ooh, that was a great shot there on lane 11 by Rylan.
Should I put up our strike alert? Because Manny's on. He could be on a double. Or he's
Well,
going for a double.
Okay, yeah.
I put it up.
I love that picture of the two dogs, I gotta say.
It just makes me happy to look at doggies.
So the last shot here on lane 14, Manny left a 2.810. He got it just a little bit too far right. Let's see if he can make a good shot and get a double here. Oh, just a little bit in, and look at what it does. Jeez.
Sorry, Manny. I'll take down the doggies.
And that was not much of a miss. It doesn't take much on this pattern.
It doesn't.
Well, I can see him give this tough split a run.
Now, we discussed yesterday, do you go for count or do you go for it at this point for Manny?
I think for him, I'd be going for it here. He's got a chance.
Oh, he does. Oh, that was a good shot at it, but he still covers it.
Yeah.
Covers his makeup. Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, got the wood.
Thank you.
That was a nice on lane 11 there, too. Catherine, good strike.
I like her jersey. I think she's wearing one of the Syc Idaho jerseys.
Nice.
It's pretty.
Got Nick Reese up on lane 13 again. Let's see if we can make another good shot to follow the frame before. Much better footing there. I think that heel change is going to help him.
Yeah, he can make some moves off of that because he's making better shots, right?
Yep.
I've been giving his dad, Clay Reese, a hard time because his daughter, Lizzie Reese, has shot 300 recently, and she's been on a hot streak.
She has.
And Nicholas is definitely up and coming.
Yep.
And I keep telling Clay that he needs to keep practicing because he may not be the best Reese in the house anymore. It was pretty funny because one of the other tournaments that's sponsored by Storm, the True Amateur Tournaments, all 3 of the Reeses are now bowling those events because they're youth divisions, and so the kids can collect some smart money. Although Lizzie's adult now, but she was collecting smart money. And
great bowling family there.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of great bowling families here in Utah this weekend.
100%.
You're in Utah. I'm still in Utah.
It's Idaho.
It's Idaho.
Utah's neighbor.
The family we're talking about is from Utah.
Yes, yes. Another great shot by Andrew.
Yep. Look at that. 3-bagger. Excellent. Let's see what his sister can do here on the left lane. Hey, we'll take that.
Gets away with it.
We'll
no
take
problem.
It. Especially after a few open frames, we'll take any break we can get.
Yeah, there's no asterisks on a Brooklyn strike. On a tough pattern, I mean, the tournament I was at last weekend, the U.S. Junior National Team Tournament in Delaware, it was a brutal pattern. And that's what I kept telling the kids. I'm like, do not worry. Like, if you're close, and you can comment on this, Coach Jazz, if you're hitting Brooklyn, you're probably close to the pocket, but on harder patterns, you don't want to make too much of a move because you might lose the pocket. If you move left, all of a sudden your ball doesn't make it to the headpin, right?
It can be that way. Yep. Pretty good shot there by Manny again. A little high. Chipped the 4 at least.
Vea is having splits this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, we see lots of those red circles up there on the scoreboard.
Nice spare by Manny. Spares are important.
Very important.
Let's see if I have any other bios for some of the kids that are close by. Looks like I need to make some announcements, reminders to fill out your bio in the afternoon.
Great shot there by Nick Reese. Kind of a bad break, leaving that 4-9.
Really bad break.
Luke, again, not a bad shot. 210.
Nope.
I know he just switched balls 2 frames ago, kind of searching for something. Oh, there's a trip 4-9.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll take that for Sophia.
Good attempt, Nick. See if Luke can give the splitter run.
Oh, it's going for a backup ball. You know, I've seen a lot more kids work on perfecting that in their game, especially the two-handers.
Yes. And that's not just another tool.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a bad thing to have more tools in your toolbox.
Nice shot by Zoe.
Yep. All right, Andrew is up on this lane 13. He's on a 3-bagger.
That means it's time for the strike alert.
This is going to be close. Oh, yeah. 4-bagger.
Nice,
Excellent.
nice. Well done. Well done, Andrew, and well done, Blake and Adam. I believe that was an assist.
And good spare there also. Man, just looking from pair to pair, we see so many splits.
Yeah.
Not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised that the short pattern here this weekend may be one of the lower scoring patterns.
Totally. Yeah.
Just because they're so tricky. Oh, great shot there again.
You know,
4-9.
usually
Jeez.
it's so not lucky. The what the short pattern is usually the lower scoring pattern at the SYC, which sometimes is to like when we go to certain houses. One of the proprietors that we just met with, she was surprised to hear that the short pattern's the lower pattern. She would have expected the long pattern would be
Good try there.
the higher score or the lower
Lower, yeah.
scoring pattern, but I think
Well,
the kids just
yeah, especially if you haven't bowled on a sport short pattern before, it can be very, very tricky because there's so much hook. Your instinct as a bowler may tell you to move further in, and you'll just see more hook.
right.
So
Yeah.
it's almost backward of what you think you may need to do. And spare shooting on the short can be very challenging because there's just so much more hook. So that's a good tip for everybody out there that may bowl on the short for a long time, that hasn't bowled on that. Make sure you practice spares on that too while you're practicing your first shots. Great shot there by Nick Reese.
Oh, there's the footing again that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Luke looked straight down at his foot.
Yeah. Well, Nick changed his heel a few shots ago, and he hasn't had a footing issue.
Yeah. Well, and this was one of the things that you talked about, variables that you can't control in the bowling center
Correct.
in your seminar.
You got to be ready.
I mean, nobody is in control of Mother Nature.
Correct.
So, regardless of what you practice and where you bowl, some of these kids are from this part of the country, others aren't. It is really hot here.
Yeah.
Outside.
And
I mean, it's not hot inside. It's a great temperature in here.
Great break on the 10 pin there on a light hit for Andrew for a 5-bagger.
Oh, I missed my strike alert.
Too late.
Dang it. We're still going to look at Blake and Adam because it's fun.
Yes, it is. We can bring him up when he goes for the 6-pack.
All right,
6-pack of soda, by the way.
6-pack of soda. I like it. We actually, in Myrtle Beach, Kyle Troop was in the booth and he started calling it 6-pack chicken tender. Because I think
okay with that too. That
yeah.
was a great shot there on the right lane.
Good shot by Miss Nevea. All right, here we go. Manny's on a strike alert too. I'm doing it.
This double's gonna be big for him for this game.
That looks a little
close.
Wow.
Nice.
I thought it was a little right, but it looks good.
With that rev rate, he's got to give us some room. We got Brianna Archibald up on the lane 12. She is in need of some strikes here. Got it in, got a break, only left a 3-pin.
Luke just can't get comfortable this game.
Yeah, he opened up the first game with a nice 2-11, actually.
Yeah.
So this is the type of game, I know it's not what he wants. He needs to spare and get some count for 130. But, you kind of take it, you move on, and try to do better next game.
100%.
I know Nick there, he missed a 5-pin, and we didn't have our hands up.
No, we did not.
But a 5-pin on the shot is not necessarily the easiest spare. And
it's not.
What I do see a lot with the kids, and especially even with adults, is sometimes they're a little bit too careful on their spares. And when you get into the mindset of trying to not miss a spare, at that point you're no longer trying to make it, which makes you miss it even more. So you have to really stay confident and stay loose and be a little bit more aggressive at your spares and make sure you're just trying to make them and you're not trying to be careful.
That's a great tip.
Careful doesn't work in sports.
No, it doesn't.
Well, this was not the best pair there for Luke. Several ball changes, a couple footing issues there. Hopefully the next pair is nicer to him.
Okay, the strike alert is up. Andrew's
Here we go, Andrew. He's
going for
great
6.
Game. Clean through 4 with a couple of spares, and now a 5-bagger going for that 6-bagger. It's going to be close.
Oh,
Just
all right.
kind of
all right.
grabby a little bit on the bottom. Maybe it made it hook a little bit early, but have a nice game going.
I'll take down my strike alert. Looks like Grandpa is watching. We gave a shout out to Grandpa earlier, so hello,
Good.
David.
See if we can pick this up.
Nice
We'll
spare.
take it. Great game. He's 216, 226 with that spare. So maybe in the 230s. I would take that on this.
Solid, yeah. You know, it's similar. The first game we had a mixture of scores, similar to this, where
Yep.
one bowler really figured them out, and the others kind of didn't. But
All right, nice game. 233 there for Andrew. Excellent.
the interesting thing, and we talk about this a lot with like spares, right? But these youth bowlers didn't miss a lot of spares. They just were getting into splits. Like that's
Yeah.
the hard part, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't take much on a tricky pattern. A few splits, a couple missed spares, and not many strikes, and all of a sudden you're shooting 150.
Yeah. And I haven't pulled up the scores. Maybe I'll do that at the next game.
Okay.
Because it's always hard at the end because they're starting to import scores from other
Oh.
lanes.
Beautiful shot there by Nevaeh for a solid 8. Isn't that how it works?
Oh,
Split,
those are
split,
brutal.
Yeah. Let's see if Manny can finish this game up. Oh, that's right. Oh, he got that
he
one
got
back.
that. Oh wait,
That's a
now
little bit of a break there.
there is the strike alert. Now you know why I call it a strike alert, because Blake yesterday he alerts everybody to what is happening. There is
He does.
no. I almost called it the strike bark because that's what Blake was.
Wow, Manny, that was a big strike for him. He can actually bail out a 200 game here.
It's awesome.
Oh, that was a great shot there on lane 12.
Sophia, yeah,
Excellent.
really nice.
Glad she's back after that injury.
Yeah. Yeah, we want her to stay off of golf carts. No more golf carts,
Let's see if
Sophia.
Manny can get another one here on lane 14. Oh, yeah.
He did.
Excellent.
Lane
know-
11, too, was just off the live stream. But Kaylee, I don't know what her last name is, but she just finished out a game with a turkey, and they were really clean strikes.
Nice.
Carry on. Sorry.
You know, this game Manny is bowling. He had 2 splits for opens, but he's throwing the last 4 or 5 strikes to bail out hopefully a 200 even game.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's what you do.
That's
you know,
huge. Yeah.
Just because you struggle at the beginning, you can still strike out 9th and 10th and pick up a lot of pins. Another great shot there in lane 11. All right,
all
199, we'll take that.
Totally.
Absolutely.
You almost got a messenger on live stream. The kids always like to clip those when they see those.
Yep.
All right, 199. So that actually will wrap up this live stream for right now. We'll be right back, and we'll have a new couple of guest commentators. Thanks for joining us.
Sure.
You might stay, but we will have you back in if
Okay.
we do a switcheroo. So
All right. See you
thanks
guys.
again, Coach
Yep.
Jazz.
All right, we're back.
Hi, Leanne.
Well, Mike, Blair's going to go take a little break and walk
Okay.
around, get some photos, and I'm going
Excellent.
to join you this game.
Cool.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's
Short pattern.
short pattern, man.
Not
There's
always
been a
everyone's
couple.
favorite.
Yeah, there's been a couple really good games. You just said somewhere on the high end, somebody had the front nine. That's
Dimitri
amazing.
Richardson had the front 9. He left a pocket 710 on the 10th shot.
Ah,
So,
but
but
that's
still,
a great
260.
game. Jeez.
260 on this, yeah.
That's I believe 260 is the high game in the building so far.
Probably.
After the first couple games.
So we've got game 3. We're pacing very well today.
Good.
This is a U12, U15 combined division. Kara Sproul is from Utah, the Ogden, North Ogden area.
Excellent.
She bowls at Ben Lomond Lanes.
Shout out to Ben Lomond. That's
Ben
where I do
Lomond,
some of my lessons while I'm
back
home.
And we'll get some stats here for 2-game totals as soon as the scores are inputted.
Nice.
We still have some pairs around. It looks like half a dozen pairs are finishing game 2. So I guess we can see a little bit of the pair to the right, right?
Yeah,
we got a wide angle here. So
yeah, we can kind of see 11 through 16 decently.
all right, so we've got U12 to the right and center, and then the first U15 boys pairs coming up on
Yes.
the left pair.
On lane 13 here, we have a really nice little bowler out of California. Now, that was an unfortunate shot. She leaked a little bit right, but that's Cara from the Bay Area.
Yeah,
Yep.
her brother, Nihal, is bowling in the tournament as well. One of our family.
He was on the live stream the first game.
He just had a really good game. I saw him. He's bowling. He had a 4-bagger over there. It looks like he's shooting 2-0 this game.
That's pretty good.
I'll take it.
And he finished and had a good junior gold this year. There was a better shot for her. Let's see if we can carry this. All right.
Should have. Bad luck. So you know quite a few of these bowlers because you do lessons in the Northwest quite often.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. I'm so excited to be here. I haven't been to one of these Strom Youth tournaments since the very first one in 2017.
Reno.
So it's really cool to see a lot of the kids that I work with here competing this weekend.
Great shot by Carly right there.
That was beautiful.
Crunched them with their brand new Nova.
That's a good ball, and all the kids got one of those this weekend.
Yep. Kaliana Larson, I believe she is from California as well.
That looks pretty good. Excellent shot.
Aw, good shot.
Typical reaction. That's what we all do.
I'm not sure I smile that much when I leave a 10 pin. She's too cute.
Let's see if we can see a nice pickup on that to follow up that good first ball. That was a great shot in lane 12 there.
Samuel Curtis. That's a good pair of U15 boys.
Yes, it is. We have pretty soon coming up on lane 11, we have Alex Crowley, another youth bowler I get to work with. He's now from Whitefish, Montana.
He's sporting his Cloverleaf family bowl jersey today. He's got his Clover jersey.
Excellent.
Shout out to Mike Hillman.
Yes.
He's a big fan of Alex.
He is.
Braden Brogan, he's from New York. Came all the way out to Idaho this weekend.
As a former New Yorker, I've got to root for other New Yorkers.
There you go.
Nice shot there on lane 13. There's Alex on lane 11. Oh, a little bit high, 5-count split. We have seen a lot of those high 5-count splits today.
I bet. Short pattern. Always, you see a lot of crazy stuff on the short pattern.
I'd be surprised to see Alex give this split a good run, though.
I think he could spare it. I'll check some standings here.
All right, nice shot there on the lane 13. We'll take a Brooklyn.
So it looks like the U12 division our U12 division is a mixed division. We didn't have enough girls to fill up the U12 girls division. So we have 3 girls, and 3 boys.
Wow, what a nice shot on lane 13. That was perfect.
Is that London? Yep,
Yes.
London. So that's this pair, Kaliana London and Stacy Ricks. Kara, who's up on the right lane, she's in the U15 division.
Okay. Oh, there is a lot of hook going to those left side spares on this short pattern. That's for sure.
And actually, our U12 division, we have, I'm gonna have to fix this a little bit. We have more than,
All right, Alex Crowley with a little Brooklyn action there. We'll take it. Looks like he's getting a little bit deep. He might have to move a little bit right. Nice spare on the 10 pin there on lane 13.
Nailed it.
Tara. It was a great first shot, too.
she's been working really hard. Becky Huffman coaches Kara and her brother, Cannon,
Excellent.
and they have been working very hard. This is their first SYC, and they have been
excellent.
practicing quite often
Great.
back home in Utah. We have a lot of first-time SYC families this weekend. Or over half the field has never bowled an SYC before.
Wow.
So it's kind of a fun weekend to meet all the new families. What a follow through on Stacy. She's posting her shot out there, right?
She is. That was good.
She's got her I Am Bowling jersey and her I Am Bowling skirt. Although maybe it's just a big jersey and nope, it looks like a skirt. You know, she's so little. It might just be a belted jersey.
It is cool to see the outfits of the kids. They all look so good.
There you go. Ah,
Pretty close there. Nice shot. Watch on lane 15. This, what is his name?
Trevor. He's from Texas. He is a
Fun to watch.
avid bowler.
I'm jealous of his hair, by the way.
He was just at the PWBA stop last week.
Oh, nice.
He was a fanboy of all the PWBA stars.
248 fan. We've seen quite a few of those, too.
Uh-oh.
Don't pull that nice hair out.
Don't pull your nice hair out, Trevor. All right, so let's update. Let's get some updates in our U15 boys. Typically, the short pattern has got some tougher scores.
Yeah, and I think pair to pair in this building especially is a little bit tricky. That was a nice little pickup on a tough spare there by Carly. Oh, there's a nice pickup also. Excellent job.
So after 2 games in the U15 boys, we've got 4 bowlers out of 26 who are plus 35 being the high.
Okay.
U15 girls. One bowler plus, Lindsey Grime plus 36
Good job, Lindsay.
from SoCal. Brylan Harrison, second place. Sophia Best from Michigan, third place. And Brianna Archibald, fourth place. Kara is doing fine. She's in fifth. Doing good.
Are the standings anywhere online, Leanne?
Yes, Bowl Metrics.
Okay.
So Bowl Metrics, metrix.com, and you'll see SYC Idaho. Click on that link, and the standings are updated as soon as we put them in. It's very
Excellent.
quick. Bowl Metrics is the best. So Trevor Mason,
Great
who you
shot
mentioned,
there by Alex. Oh, solid 9.
solid 9. Oh. So Trevor is leading the U12 boys,
Excellent.
and Kaliana Larson, who's in front of us here in the purple, is in second place.
Very nice. A nice strike over there, just off camera, a little bit of lane 10 by Henry Hine. I believe he's from Oregon.
He is.
For a double. Oh, now that's a bad breakthrough in lane 12. He got it left,
Oh,
went
jeez.
too long, broke sharply at the end, and 2 count. I remember this, I believe it was this year on tour, A.J. Chapman had a shot.
Twice, right?
He did that same thing off the right side, and then his spare shot went the same exact place.
People thought he did that on purpose. Do you think he did that on purpose?
He did not do that on purpose.
Yeah. Oh. I can't find the chat. I'm new to the live stream. I don't handle the live stream, so I don't
So we
know.
have a comment there from Hillary. Hi, Hillary. You know, it's great to see your guys here this weekend, but we are missing you. Hope you're doing well. I look forward to seeing you in October sometime up there in your area in Montana.
Hillary has been working. She didn't get all of her work done. And then Alex said Hillary has to take care of the animals. So someone has to watch the animals.
She's a busy lady this weekend then.
Yes, but we miss her.
We have her son right here on lane 12.
Let's go, Alex.
Get a break here. You can see if you miss in on this pattern, it is going to take off.
Yes, and from the locals, tournament bowlers who I spoke to, who quite a few of them were here, they said the gutter typically doesn't play well in the center, so the kids are kind of trapped. They can't, you know, on a short pattern, you can normally throw it to the gutter, play tight up the gutter, you know, play the gutter, but it's not gutter friendly here, so they've got to kind of move in, but they're not, I don't think they can move in too far.
Correct.
I'm definitely think straighter is better on the short, and I definitely think harder is better.
Has to be, the break point has to still be kind of out right of 7-8, I think,
Right.
but it can't get out past about 3.
Yeah, and some of these kids are not getting it to the break point.
Yeah.
But easier said than done when you're sitting back here, huh?
Exactly.
Braden covered that up.
And there you can see how Shkara just missed a little bit right and dumped right into the ditch. This is a tricky pattern.
Our friends at Kegel develop all of the SYC patterns, so we have nothing to do with it. We let them know, just so you know, we let them know where we are bowling, and we request 1 short, 1 medium, and 1 long pattern from them.
Beautiful shot there. Carly, nice shot.
Carly has a, I mean, we've seen some good, like she's lined up pretty much, so.
Yep.
I think mainly on the short pattern, there's just not a lot of mistake room.
Great shot there on the right lane. Kaliana, very nice.
Woo! Good cover, Carly. I like Carly's game. Pretty sound fundamentals.
I agree, Hillary. October in Montana is beautiful, and I'm lucky I get to spend about 3 weeks in Montana in October every year.
3 weeks you're going there?
Yeah, I do several stops in Montana. I'm going to usually do Billings, Bozeman, Butte, do the bees. And then I also do some lessons in Missoula, Ronan. I'll be going to Big Fork this coming fall also. So
you're a busy guy.
Yeah. Montana's an awesome state, love it. And in October, it's beautiful with the fall colors.
Oh.
Hey, there's some good
nice
pin
break. Braden Brogan.
Good to see a couple breaks on the screen here, as tough as these lanes are.
So game 3 of 5. And then we'll come back this afternoon at 2:30, and we will do 5 more games on the medium pattern.
Okay. I have a feeling the kids may like the medium and the long a little bit more than they like the short.
I agree. Nice cover, Alex Hartley. A lot of kids sporting their new I Am Bowling jersey. They design special tournament designs at each tournament. So they have custom SYC designs. You'll see a lot of the matching jerseys this weekend.
Cool.
Like I asked them to do a blue and orange one because we had a lot of people from Idaho, and isn't that the Boise State colors
It
are
is,
blue and
yes.
orange. So I thought that would be a popular jersey, and that's a really good looking one.
That was a nice shot there on lane 15, just to the
Ooh,
right by
Akshara.
Danica Archibald, part of the bowling Archibald family.
Yes. Akshara just had a great shot.
Nice. You know, I worked with Akshara earlier this year in Dublin, California, at the Earl Anthony Dublin Bowl, and Akshara, she's very young still,
Yes.
very skinny, and she wants more power. And you know, she's going to grow into her body, and she'll get stronger, just like her brother D Hall. He used to be very skinny.
He was.
And he had a big growth spurt, and hers is coming. I
So you
feel
just-
bad for the kids when they're so small. It's hard to generate a lot of power and rev rate. And I know when I say don't worry, it'll come, that sounds great, but it doesn't help them at that moment.
Right. They're like, great. Well, what do I do till then?
Yeah, there's little things you can do, but really it's just a matter of kind of growing bigger, stronger. Alex with a Brooklyn there. I don't know
He
about.
needs that.
Yeah, a good break there. He's kind of struggling
When
to get
you're
lined
struggling, a good break is definitely a sigh of relief.
up. Absolutely. Nice pick up there by Carly too.
Oh,
You can see how that ball breaks right at that back end. That's a good shot there by Ashkar.
we have a question about the patterns. The patterns are provided to us by Kegel. And this morning we're going on the short pattern. I believe it's 37.
I think it's
I
even
normally-
shorter than that.
Okay, I
Blair
need to go
pulled it
grab
up
the
earlier.
patterns. Yeah. Let me see here.
Are the patterns posted online anywhere?
I think they're on Bowlmetrics. Let me find out here.
If they aren't, once Blair is back in the booth, she's a little bit more computer literate than Leanne and I. She can pop the
Thanks a
patterns
lot.
up there. Well, it's true. I threw myself under the bus too.
They are supposed to be listed on Bowlmetrics, so let me see.
Great shot by Carly. That's a good way to come back off that split with a spare. Nice strike there. All right, London. We'll take that. Excellent. We'll take a lucky, kind of a Brooklyn strike for a double on a rough game any day of the week.
Well, I'll get some copies of the lane patterns and get them in the live stream area for you guys. You like watching bowling, Mike, and you like talking about bowling.
Well, it's kind of my
It's your life,
my
right?
life. Nice shot there again. 4-pin.
What's up,
Trevor
Kenny
on lane,
Hedgepath?
lane
Good
15.
morning.
Trevor, let's see if he can come back here. He's having a bit of a rough game. 2-8-10. Man.
Dude, Trevor's throwing a shiny bowling ball. He's getting mad too. He looks a little frustrated.
Well, he's had 5 splits this game.
And what do you think would be his move? Oh,
Well, I think this pair is just quite a bit different than what he came off of last game. He's just kind of struggling to find it. He did the right thing there. He got the wood. We got to just get the wood, move on, and try to finish strong.
maybe try something this game, huh? At least in the 10th frame. Try a different ball.
Well, he's got 2 frames left, yeah. And he's had a mix of kind of high-end light splits. It's hard to tell, were they all good shots or were some bad shots?
Right. Good
nice shot there. Excellent.
He's happy about that.
I would be too. But nice shot by Oscar. Just a bad break. When you hit a little bit high and you don't get one of those pins to trip out to not leave the split, it's kind of a bad break.
Mike, do you know what today is?
On National Bowling Day?
Yes.
I do know that.
So we're celebrating by having an SYC in Idaho.
That's awesome. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
I think there's some professional bowling going on Fox and Friends today.
I know. Our friend Leanne is, not our friend Leanne, our friend Danielle.
Danielle and Dasha Kovalova are
excellent.
Going to be in New York City doing the bowling day.
New York City?
New York City. Good shot, Carly. Carly with a big double.
That's excellent.
Hope she can finish that game off. Uh-oh. Tough spare by Samuel.
Yeah, nice.
Good cover. Still has a good game going over there. Trevor with the big strike.
Yeah, that's the way to come back after a couple opens. You have a nice strike there on the 9th, set up the 10th frame. Alex Crowley on lane 12. He got that one right. Let's see if it finishes.
Little too far. Almost tripped the 2. So maybe just scooch his feet a little bit right.
Yeah,
a lot of angle going on there.
Yeah, I think he just needs to move a little bit right. That ball, that move is a nice strong ball, but if he misses left, it's just going to take off. Nice shot there on that right lane by Stacy. Come on, Alex, pick this up.
Right in the belly.
There you go. Excellent.
So, Mike, I don't know if you and Blair talked about this, but we always talk about two-handed girls. Okay. And I believe we have one bowling this tournament, but in Ohio, at our Super Slam in Ohio, I think we had 6 or 7 two-handed girls bowling.
Wow.
And they were pretty impressive. So it's kind of happening. The girls are, you're going to see more of them.
Bad break there on that spare shot. Now, Leanne, you bowled all over, bowled on some super tough patterns. How did you handle when the lanes were tough and tricky and the scores were kind of hit and miss?
Well, yeah, I would say that short is one of my least favorite patterns as well. I have trouble playing them straighter. It's something I'm always still practicing on in my old age. But obviously filling frames are key. Just not, especially in a format like this where you will be done with this block and you will bowl on a totally different pattern next block. So the key on this one, if it's not your favorite, would be not to dig yourself a big hole.
Yeah,
and just kind of get as much. Don't look for a whole bunch, but don't give a lot away. So pick up your spares, get your count on your splits. Don't try not to get frustrated, you know. But and another thing is be aware of the scoring pace. Like it's not high scoring this morning. Yes, there will be a few bowlers at the top who, for whatever reason, you know, they pick the right ball, playing in the right way, you know, that sort of thing. But the field, the overall field, they're not bowling a lot of high scores this morning. So to stay in it, shoot your 180s and 190s, that will not get you in trouble. And when you hit one of the next couple patterns, you can make up for it. You know, and you won't have that much of a hole to dig yourself out of. So
Yeah.
I've always just learned that patience, and that's, not something you can really teach kids, patience.
And that's not easy even for adults.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you develop over time. And I
Yep.
think while I used to, when I was young, of course, hit the panic button, get frustrated, lose
Yes.
my cool, just, get rattled. I think the more you bowl and the more experiences you have, you learn patience.
Right.
So you have to teach the kids that, just take your time, don't get frustrated.
Yep. I get lucky. I get to work with a lot of the top pros, and I've worked with Marshall Kent since he's been 14 years old or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's bowled junior gold 6 times. And he admitted the first time he bowled junior gold, he wanted to strike every shot, and when he didn't strike, he got pissed and missed all his spares, which is not uncommon. The first high-level tournament like that,
Right.
but him and his dad, Jim, did the right thing. They didn't just get aggravated and leave. They stayed and watched the people that made the cut to figure out what are they doing that we're not. And they noticed that, wow, even on bad games, they're getting the wood, they're getting the spares. So they really worked on that.
And that's another thing that I try to tell kids. If you are having trouble, so let's just say you're not lined up, you don't know, you're at a loss. Maybe watch, look at the standings, look who's bowling good,
Yep.
and maybe go stand behind them for a shot or two,
See where they're playing.
and check where they're playing on the lanes, and maybe what kind of ball they're throwing.
Yep.
Because there's no rule that you can't, go get some help by just watching the bowlers who are scoring. So
Correct.
you have to be aware of what other kids are doing.
So the first year Marshall Kent in junior gold, he finished in the 400s. Was not happy. The next year they came back. He still missed the cut, but only by about 30. Missed the cut the following year by 11, I think he said. And then he had 3 top 5s, including a win.
Wow. So the kids in front of us have ended game 3.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
I hit her in her mouth. Uh-oh. Got a little urgency going on, a little accident with the bowling ball.
Hope she's okay.
It's probably going to have to get some ice.
Hate to see that.
Blair is on it. I see that
Okay,
Blair
good.
and the mom are
right there
looking after her. And
nice
a good
shot there
by
by
Alex.
See how we got that ball out to that 7-8 range.
A little better angle, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Gave us some room, got it back.
Let's see if he can get a double in the 10th and save that game a little bit.
Yep. That's out a little bit too far on that one.
He is a hardworking kid.
He is. Yeah. So we're going to take a little break right here, and we will be back for game 4.
We'll be back.
You'll be right back.
I said we'll be right back.
All right, we are back in the booth, and I am joined by our regional sales manager for the Northwest Territory, Zach Trevino. Welcome, Zach.
Thank you, Blair. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that we have an SYC event in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
This is exciting. There's been a lot of demand for this, and so it's nice to see the turnout and the support. I think I've got there's some kiddos here from my entire territory. So I think every state that I cover, minus the little bit of Canada, we do have some representation here, which is cool.
It's really cool. This pair is starting off striking, which is awesome. I think we're going to see a lot of striking on this pair, but you have some Pac Northwest kids right in front of you.
Look at you, Pac Northwest.
I got you.
Golly, I've never even said that before.
I got you. I'm a pro of the Pac Northwest.
Yeah.
And I've never been to the Pac Northwest.
You've been here.
Does this count?
No, it doesn't.
I know. I'm like, this isn't the Northwest.
You talk to anybody that's from anywhere near I-5, they're like, that's not. That's inland.
Yeah, Idaho doesn't count.
Yeah, pretty much. We're kind of neutral. Yeah, I think in general, you're going to see the scoring pace go up a little bit. There certainly are some better pairs in this house, but
how's this pair? 13 and 14.
So in general, this section of the house is actually pretty good.
Okay.
I shouldn't say there's really just a couple pairs that are a little tricky. The majority of the pairs are actually pretty good here. But
okay.
the one thing in terms of characteristics that you're going to see, and it was extra prevalent on the fresh on this short pattern, is that the gutter is a little tricky on the right. So as you get farther right, short patterns in this house just traditionally play difficult. There's just some hang at the gutter, and so it's tough when the ball's got to get to 4-5, 3-4-5, anywhere near there. You've got to be pretty perfect, or you'll get 3 off the right. So I think, and because of that, that's why you'll see the scores that are going to soften up a little bit. I think they're going to go up just because the middle part of the lane started to develop, and people can get away from that hang spot. They're just not as flat in the middle now. So.
I love it. Well, Mr. Cannon Spruill is actually from Brigham City, Utah.
Yeah.
Mr. Cannon. His home bowling center is Ben Lohman. Favorite pro bowlers, Jason Belmonte. He loves competing against other bowlers. And his favorite bowling achievement was he got to bowl alongside his dad at the Storm Utah Open this year, which is a really challenging tournament.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had a couple conversations with Cannon in the past. He's a good little kid. Throws it pretty good. He's got a pretty straight swing as well. So hopefully big things from him. I think he's throwing a proton. Last I looked, he was throwing a proton.
I think you're right. Noah Sicard is stepping up on lane 14. He's going for a spare there. I jinxed him. But he's from Washington. So he's from the top of your territory. Although, do you go into Canada?
The Pac Northwest.
That's the Pac.
The Pac. I do. I have a little bit of Canada, so
okay.
A little bit of Calgary, Vancouver, BC as well. But yeah, there's some folks, some bowlers that are. I did check in yesterday and saw a lot of kids from the SeaTac area. We've got some folks here from Central.
SeaTac. Now you're really throwing out.
It's literally the name of the airport. Seattle Tacoma, SeaTac.
Oh, okay.
It's like DFW.
So Seattle Tacoma is what? Oh, I get you. Yeah. Okay.
Or like the Twin Cities, Minnesota or Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So SeaTac area, you got a lot of that. There's a good turnout from Portland, also Southern Oregon. There's some kids, I believe so, from like Central and Southern Oregon that are here also.
I like it.
And then all the regulars, all the SYC celebrities that are esteemed and accomplished, and they've got tons of banners.
Yes. We do have Ewan Wester. I think I said his last name wrong, but Ewan is from Portland, Oregon. We just saw him bowl.
Yep.
His favorite pro bowler is Jason Belmonte. He was the youngest JBT scratch winner in the JBT, which is Junior Bowlers Tour history. I think those are in Vegas most of the time. And he wants to say hi to his mom and give shout out to his coaches, Chris Burnett and Gary Hamasaki.
Yeah.
Those are two pretty good coaches.
Yeah, they are. He has been, I first met him at a matchmaker that we had in Beaverton at Kingpins there when Burnett had the shop. And,
oh, cool.
And yeah, he's a machine. He goes and goes and goes. But he's definitely developed. He puts a lot of hard work in. Burnett's got quite a few kids that are out here. that are competing, and yeah, it's good to see him. I've really seen him. He's still pretty small, but he was really little when I first saw him.
I remember he has grown a lot
Yep.
because I haven't seen him in a couple tournaments,
Yep.
and he's definitely hit a growth spurt, which is always fun. Noah has as well. He's a lot taller than the last time I saw him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good. We were talking about Noah. That's a good representation of kind of what the lanes are doing right there on the fresh. That ball probably would have been 3 off the left. They're just smoothing out in the middle, which is a good thing. That's a good thing. It's going to allow for some scores these last couple games, and you might see a couple big ones. I know there was, I think 260, maybe 1 or 2 260s the last game, if I remember right, or maybe game 3, game 2 or game 3 there was.
We've had a 250, a 240, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there was a high game. Oh, there were some younger kids last game on this pair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you'll start to see that. Like I said, I think that's a good thing. It's just they're just tricky at the gutter here. So there's also it's interesting. The left side going up the lane is actually pretty good. There's not a ton of lefties in the field.
Good to know.
Yeah, that is one thing. I know I saw a two-handed lefty earlier, and there's a few, but definitely not that many. Sort of a word to the wise: if you're ever at Westy's and you find yourself bowling a left-hander, their look's going to be pretty good. That's just how it is. Heck, if I can bowl like 280 here left-handed, they've got to be walled up.
Oh dear. All right. I don't think I have a bio for Mr. Lance. I'm gonna check again. I don't. Lance Ricks. I'm not sure where he's from, but he's stepping up on lane 13. He was playing pretty close to the gutter, so the first one got away from him, but he was on a double, so he'll recover.
Yeah, I believe Lance is from this area, actually.
Okay, nice.
Over in Caldwell.
And then Ernesto Reynoso. Seen him for a few years in SYCs, and quite the young bowler. We also, to the left, I don't know if you'll actually be able to see it because I don't have much of 15 and 16 shown, but Dohan Kwan has 6 in a row over there.
Oh, he does. That's right.
Have you seen him throw a ball yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was. He's made a splash in
Washington.
Yeah. I'm trying to use your term as best I can.
Pac Northwest.
In the Pac Northwest.
Yes, let's go.
I think you only just picked that up from college football.
I think so too.
Right. Pac-10 is out
Yeah,
west.
right.
Yeah. He's developing into a nice, good little player too.
Yeah, he is.
Same thing. Seen him in some events. They've got Washington has a good junior bowlers tour that's up there.
They sure do. And Storm, we support that tournament or
Yep.
that tour, and we love the people that work it and the bowlers that bowl it. We're always hearing great things from that tournament series.
Absolutely. He's on a good pair too. In general, he's got some good bowlers that are over there. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. See, starting with a 6-bagger. You know, I have this thing, and I don't. In terms of commentating or discussing scores, I don't like saying the front whatever unless it's 6. Like, you have to at least get halfway. Nobody
then it's
starts
front?
with the front 3.
Well, do you know what I have?
Come on, get out of here.
Zach, you might not appreciate this, but I have a strike alert brought to you by Blake and Adam.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Right? Isn't it awesome?
Do we get a bark?
Well, I almost called it the bark strike alert because that's what you get with Blake is.
That's a lot of barking.
I should just say Blake barks.
He just gets so excited.
Blake alert.
It is a Blake alert.
It is a
that could
Blake.
work.
That's what.
Yeah.
We'll change it in the afternoon. It'll be the Blake alert.
He gets so excited.
He
Was
loves bowling.
Was it cool covering the match yesterday?
That might be the best thing I've done in my career, hands
That's
down.
Highlight. So now we can officially say that
Front
he's
7.
got the front 7. Yeah.
That strike
6
alert
is
was
like the-
brought to you by Blake and Adam.
Yeah.
Okay.
6 is like the borderline for me. But I mean, I think even Randy. I think that like on TV, it's like, oh, you start with the front 3. Like, no,
Yeah.
you started with a 3-bagger or a turkey. It's not the front anything unless you're halfway.
Yeah, because you don't call it the front 1.
No, nobody says that. No.
It's 1 in a row.
Yeah. So that's just my little rant. Got some weird ones.
We appreciate rants on the SYC live stream, like the best of them.
Voice my opinion.
He's also to the left, and you'll see him on the right lane. But Henry Hind has also grown a foot, and he's growing into his game. He's always kind of had his hands in the right position, but now it's always tricky with boys because not that it's not tricky with girls. What are you doing? Oh,
Left
sorry.
left
Yeah, the right.
I was just gonna do this for anybody that at home was like, I'm pretty sure that's to the right. I
It is
wasn't
to
gonna
the
say
right.
anything.
It is. Sorry, it's been a long weekend already, and it's Saturday morning. How's that going? But what I was saying was this age group, and we talked about growing, right? And I always bring this up because I think that the U15 boy, like U12, U15 boys, they grow so much
Like
in that
weeds.
time period, and keeping the fit the same, the way it should be, and like staying on top of all that is the hard. Like parents have it so hard,
Yeah, it's tough. Between shoe size
right?
and then keeping things refit. And I mean, even we recommend most. I mean, even adult kind of intermediate or even just tournament bowlers or anybody. I recommend checking fit and your PIP annually, just because you'd be surprised how much it changes. But then you throw in kids that are growing like weeds and I mean hands are growing before arms or feet are growing before their spine. There's all
Yeah,
kinds
and
of
you're
stuff that
getting
you get all kinds of
stronger
different
and
things. Yep.
speed and all. I mean, there's so many variables that just are really changing in this age group right here.
Well, and it can be tough too because physically, and I've seen a lot of kids, and I went through this as well. There's some things that change from a muscle standpoint, and you can kind of fall into some bad habits.
Totally.
And not really even know it because you're not straining. So you see a lot. You do see some tension. You see some of the kids as they start to grow, where they'll get a little grabby, or the swing starts to get a little away from it, and it's just they don't realize it.
Right.
They're able to manipulate the ball just out of pure muscle because they're getting stronger. Whereas when they were smaller in stature, you really had to use leverage to their advantage because they just couldn't do it. I certainly went through that as well. And so you do see that a little bit. It's tough. It can be hard from a coaching standpoint. I've talked with Jazz about this, where it's just difficult because a lot of times in those situations, less is more,
Right.
and they have to get the kind of recall the feeling of not being able to muscle it, and it could be at a couple of instances. There's a few things that can be encountered when they do that, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough age,
I jinxed Dohan.
In a way, things were simpler back then, but different problem.
Well, and I think I don't know what it is. Dohan did just end his streak of 7. He left the 2-8 over, right? 2-8.
Yep,
Okay,
2-8.
I'm really struggling over here. Anyway,
To your right.
I just think
it's to your right.
I just think that girls may now not every girl, but there's a little more gradual growth. You don't see the spurts that you see with the guys, where
Totally.
one weekend they're like this tall, and the next weekend I'm like, you're 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah. So just watch those. Watch like Zach said, annually check the PAP. It's a good and the fit.
Yeah, and that's for anybody, and much less if you're got a kiddo that's doing some bowling and you just kind of have to stay on top of it. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to do that amidst all the other things that you got to deal with.
I'm about to do that because I haven't bowled since March. So I thought to myself, I'm like, probably should just get my thumb. Usually what happens is my thumb gets smaller or bigger, so then I end up needing a new thumb.
Totally.
But
yeah, you said you haven't bowled since March?
Like March, April.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mine was May.
Yeah. And I think league is starting in the next few weeks.
Pretty
I'm
soon.
like,
It's
wow,
about that time, yeah.
that went fast.
Sometimes we see it a little bit later, starting in the Northwest, just because we want to milk all of the summer temps, before it starts to get chilly and kind of miserable. But in general, it's right around the corner. That's an out of range on 16.
Yeah, Brady, the bowling science kid, is going to do a science experiment about how that pin did not fall.
Yeah, that was tough. It's hard to see on the camera, but I think that was I think it was big 4 10 pin, and then it kind of slid over a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Nice shot by Lance. Straight, direct,
Absolutely.
Sherlock. That looks like a Sherlock.
just letting the ball do the work,
I think yeah.
going up the lane. Yeah, it definitely does look like a Sherlock.
Lots of variables in bowling. Lots of variables. So how has it been? You get to see these kids bowling. I don't know how many youth tournament series you actually hit in your territory because you're busy doing matchmakers, busy visiting shops. But is it fun to just watch all the kids bowl?
Yeah, it is. To be honest, I probably should do a little bit more, just because it's just neat to see how the game's developed.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of coaching prior to working for Storm, but I was a little bit more involved in just kind of seeing trends and again just seeing the direction that the game is going. I don't make it out to Junior Gold or anything like that, so having some of these larger tournaments here where you can really showcase a lot of the talent it's neat. It's intriguing. I was having a conversation with Clay Reese earlier, and we were talking about the amount of two-handers, and you hear about it. When he was mentioning at Junior Gold, it was just crazy. And,
yeah. Until you actually see it, right?
Yeah,
That's when it really hits you,
Yep.
because you're like, wow.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, I really do. And the one thing that, and same thing I was talking with him, I'm kind of waiting for that dominant female two-hander.
Yep. We've been talking about that.
Yeah.
We had 11 two-handed girls in our Ohio event.
Wow. Okay.
That was the most ever.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the moment where we all went, wow, it's almost here.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just, one, I think too, as two-handed, kind of, there's certainly more knowledge, right? Coaching and how some of the positions, and some of the kids are just so natural at it, but others that want to take it up, or even or they're just taking up bowling for the first time. There's kind of the, I don't want to say textbook way to teach 4 or 5 steps, but you kind of have a general idea.
Oh, absolutely.
How to get walking and get the ball moving.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you.
He
that is
walked it out
Joss
and
Weems.
slapped one out in the 9th. It was impressive.
That was our. He is an awesome young man, Joss Weems. He is from the Chicago area. Do you know he has written and produced, and there's a music video, a rap about bowling. Joss
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. You can find, he has a whole brand, Black Unicorn.
Nice.
He has a YouTube channel. You can go see his rap. His sister helped him. She has vocals on it too, and he not only is he a great ambassador for the sport, but he's a great community builder. So like we have a lot of new SYC bowlers here this weekend, and I see like Joss and Brady, and they're welcoming some of these kids that are new to the family, which is cool to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of first timers again doing checkout. That was something, a lot of local folks too, which is again nice. I mean, that's the whole idea of having one up here.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe a crux prime.
Honestly, it's not just about having one up here. That's the whole idea of the SYC. That's really the way that it was built. Was okay, we're gonna go into these areas, and we know there's a half dozen kids or a dozen kids that may travel, right? They may have the finances or just the aspiration, because I was just talking with Carter Street's dad at a recent tournament, and I asked him, I go, because Carter's going on to Wichita.
Gotcha.
And I asked him, I go, what was the best tip that you got from another parent when Carter was younger about getting to the elite level in bowling? Because he's won a lot of tournaments, and he's made the finals of Junior Gold, and now he's off to Wichita. Sure. He heard from another parent. He called the parent. They were a couple years ahead of him, and they said, you got to drive. Yeah. And Craig was like, what do you mean? And he went, you're going to drive to any tournament that you can find for Carter to bowl in, and that's how you're going to get him to the next level.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a commitment for some families, but most of the families, we bring them to different areas, and we hope that there's locals that come and support it and get some national tournament experience in their home area. So. Yeah,
and mentioning just competing, and again, this is pretty vast territory. So I mean, there's a lot of miles between some of these markets, and so yeah, if you're in the Portland area, you're in the SeaTac area, or you're Southern Oregon, so you're in Bend. I mean, even if you're, Eastern Oregon, excuse me. If you're in Bend, or even if you're in Medford, I mean, okay, so let's take Medford for example, right? So it's a trek up I-5 if you're going to go and bowl anything in Portland, but they do. You see that? That's pretty common. But then you're also 3-4 hours away from Sacramento. So then you could do some of that, but nothing's really,
close.
Yeah. And you've got some really good boulders that are kind of in these pockets that are a little remote, and so it's sort of you can fall into a little bit of the big fish in a little pond aspect of it, and then especially if you go to college, it's pretty eye-opening, or you come to an SYC. So it's great to get some of that experience where
they'll know what to work on, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And but it's not as either, I don't want to say overwhelming as something like a Junior Gold, or something like that? Where
No, I think junior gold, and overwhelming may not be the right term, but
Sure.
it is a big event, and everyone talks about it. And the first time you experience it, what I tell families when they're going for the first time, just be there.
Yeah,
Just
take it in.
absorb
Yep,
it.
yep.
Just don't panic. It's easy to get overwhelmed because you're driving. You have practice sessions at all the bowling centers you're going to in a day. Like it's a lot, and so we hope that the SYCs are a training ground for that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely. It's a good mix. It's still very, again, it's very homey feeling at the right. I mean, you got a lot of players that know each other, and because it is more of a regional thing, there's a lot of friendship going on here. But then, yeah, you've got some folks that are traveling, right? You've got some folks that bowl a ton of these SYCs.
Yep.
So it's cool because it adds that flair, and so it is. I think you're spot on in terms of the preparation that these events do for some of the larger ones.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they're bowling on a couple different patterns, which they also may not see at home, but what we've also seen is because they stay in the same grouping for the whole weekend, you may meet a friend.
270 on 15. That's good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, by Dohan.
Yep.
You may meet a friend that actually lives close to you, and you didn't actually know them. Especially, like you mentioned, that was the biggest thing when I moved out to the West, because I grew up in Ohio. You could be in 3 states in 3 hours. I mean, it was literally like it was 2 hours anywhere, and it was 3 hours to another state.
Yep.
So when I moved out here, I'm like, what do you mean I have to drive 4 hours to a tournament? What do you mean I have to drive 6 hours? What?
Yep.
That's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So yeah, it is different for these kids. So if they meet a friend that they may be 3 hours away, but they can meet in the middle and bowl together, then that's a win because they met a new friend that they can kind of work together and compete against. And with social media, man, these kids can talk to anyone, anywhere.
Yeah, everybody's definitely a lot more connected, and it is good. It's good for the communities like this where, they can find a friend in a neighboring state that maybe they never went to. Ooh, that was a great shot.
Jeez, Ernest.
Randy, cover your eyes.
Ouch.
That was pretty pure. You can meet a.
Gave the thumb
there
up to the camera.
Yeah.
We got it, Ernesto. You did that.
You can meet somebody that might maybe a few hours away, and really stay in touch, and go and bowl some of their tournaments, or go and bowl, a youth tour that they have and compete in that maybe you never, you didn't know before. So you can bowlers in that respect are really good as being hosts, because it's like, oh, hey, have you heard about this tournament?
Yeah.
And the parents are all in it too, which is good, because they're they'll network with friends and folks, and then you can save on some expenses traveling together, and it's the whole thing there. But it's nice. Social media has made it easier to do that on a grander scale, more grand scale, just because you can be a little farther away now.
Yeah. Well, and we did mention Junior Gold, which is the largest youth bowling tournament, and I think everyone should bowl Junior Gold at least once if they can. I know it's a financial commitment, but it is a great event. But they bowl 4 games a day, so having those friends that you can find and do stuff after bowling. Bowling is the main event, but when you're a kid, you're not going to just bowl and then be like, okay, now I'm going to go sit in my hotel room. Like, no, you want to go and find things to do, and you want to have friends to do it. So building that little community for yourself just makes those events even more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always fun to travel with folks. It just makes the drives more enjoyable, and whether it's caravanning or carpooling or
and the dinners and the lunches.
Oh yeah, a lot of memories from doing that. And you mentioned you're from Ohio. I'm from Texas originally, so I'm accustomed to driving plenty far, but we just never went out of the state.
Yeah, it takes a minute to drive to the other state or the other side of the state.
Yeah, we could compete in San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Dallas, or Lubbock or something like that, and you were all still you drive 4 hours, you'd still be in the same state.
Yeah.
But you had those pockets though, similarly. But yeah, some of those road trips, some of those dinners, and times
that's the fun part.
Hanging out, and even if you're just hanging out, friends hanging out in the hotel room or whatever, finding a barbecue or something in a local park and just doing stuff like that. It's just it's more enjoyable, especially because rarely are you going to find one, especially a circle of friends where everybody whacks them or everybody makes the cut, right? Somebody's going to have a bad day, and so it makes it a lot more enjoyable.
System.
Yeah, where the group's having a good time. Yeah, it's very, very true.
Well, actually, that came up a couple days ago. We were talking to a couple of youth bowlers who they bowled junior gold, and they said that the one youth bowler had a very, very poor start to junior gold. He was very far down, very disappointed in himself. He was a pretty high galloper bowler, and one of his friends told him, like, you got this. Like, anyone can have a good day, and this could be your day.
Yeah.
And he said that was so meaningful to him just to hear that from his friend. He went out and had a huge day. He went like plus 250, and he moved into the advancers round. He said he moved up like 100 spots or 200 spots.
yeah.
I mean, it's just one big block. So that's why the Sunday round at this tournament is called the Never Give Up Scholarship by Pba Junior, because we try to encourage these kids. Even if you've had 2 rough rounds, you can have one big block, and it'll all come together.
Well, and it's nice that that's being rewarded too, because I feel as though that's a bit of a skill. So
Yeah.
I think if you've been in that situation before, it's something that if you're going into, and you can scale it down to the last game of a block too, or last couple games where it's a position round to make a cut or to make match play or whatever. We know of those players that are never out of it. I mean, we do in the circles, whether it's regional or, again, you're talking, elite level professionals. You know of those guys that at any minute can, and again, we're referring to one game, guys and gals that can bowl 250 plus
and make
make the number, like,
absolutely.
or again have a just whack them on it, regardless of the pattern, and being in that situation and having to do that and having some encouragement to understand that, look, it's it's okay. It's eye-opening too, how if you've never encountered that or you've never whacked them to get into the number, how eye-opening it is, because they go, wow, like, I can't believe I made up that many spots, and you're just kind of an autopilot. And it's definitely something that that those top level players possess for sure. So I think it's awesome that that's encouraged. Because it is big, not only from a mental standpoint, but it gives you a little bit of an edge. If you're one of those players that goes, I don't know if I can bowl 250 to get the number, but so-and-so is only 10 pins behind me, and I know at any minute they can throw a 7-bagger. It gives you a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, and we have had really cool stories this year on that third day. One bowler, in the first event, a bowler was literally 200 under going into that last round, and he shot an unbelievable. I think he averaged 250. He had a 300 in it.
Jeez.
And he won that round. I think he ended up making the medal, the overall medals. He didn't win the tournament, but it's exactly what you said. And if you teach that and you encourage these kids, like, don't give up. And you're right. We're going into the 5th game of this round, next game, and some kids may not have had the best round. Short pattern is certainly a struggle for some youth bowlers and adult bowlers.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So having that mindset of, okay, whatever's happened.
Yeah.
It's probably different than when you started, and seeing what you can do in that last game to have a good game before you go to lunch and fuel up for the medium pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. And just off camera to the right on 17 and 18, a good example of that is Alex. So Alex Crowley, I think, just bowled 230. And, I was keeping scores earlier, so I know he did not have a good start to the block.
Right.
But that's, again,
so he's coming back around.
Just a good example. And then, he's into it and high spirits down there. And so it goes a long way. It's vital. And it's something I think that also, in general, I don't think it's discussed enough.
I don't think so either. And especially in a round like this where the scores aren't high.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a lower scoring pattern. So a 230 right now probably is moving Alex up a lot in the standings.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I think in Game 5 will continue. You'll see some scores. Some of the kids that have been able to get in. I think Alex was throwing a phase 2. It looked what it looked like down there.
Gotcha.
So he's able to get in and circle it a little bit.
Yeah, something smoother.
Yep. And so, this short pattern was 36, 37.
It's actually 37, and it's 26 mils.
Yeah.
So pretty low volume.
Yeah. So, but you can see with the bulk of that being in the middle part of the lane and the front, that as balls go down the lane, it's going to create a little bit of hold there. So now you can start to move in a little. You still got the pattern still isn't overly long, so there's some friction, right? But you've seen guys that can get into left of 20 now because the ball will actually get to the spot where on the fresh it was just too flat. It never made it right enough. And so yeah, you'll see some scores.
Yeah. So
Pretty good.
Brody finished up with a 224 this game. The other bowlers are kind of struggling through the short pattern. We got a mixture of scores going on.
Yeah, I mean Ernesto still has a pop at 230 here.
Yeah.
Really good look.
I'd say Lance.
Couple bad breaks.
Lance is probably not overly happy with his 156, but it was a good game. He just had a really unfortunate split at the end and a couple opens.
Just never got right enough there, but still makeable. It's a pop at 2-1.
Nice shot by
on
you.
lane 13. A little out of range on 12.
You call in the front desk from the live stream.
I am. Hopefully they're listening. Jamie.
I mean, they do have the live stream on in the pro shop, so maybe Wayne will make the assist.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking while we joke about the pro shop and the bowling center, Westy's Garden Lanes has been an unbelievable host this weekend, so we can't thank Josh and his team enough.
Yeah, hats off, absolutely.
And then also Wayne in Wayne World's Pro Shop and Terry and all the Simpsons, they've been phenomenal too. I know Wayne was really busy drilling up some Novas yesterday. All the youth bowlers get a bowling ball with their entry. And he's also been able to get some other youth bowlers fitted up with some new equipment. So thank you for all of their work too.
Yeah,
So.
shout out for sure. They were very busy. I was Katie was in there help. Everyone kind of had a hand in it yesterday, including one of the competitors. So Landon, who's bowling right now, kind of between we went out and they had to urge him to go out for Jasnow's seminar. We're like, no, that's valuable information. Go out. It's
Go
okay.
do
We
it.
can lay
Yeah.
the ball out. Like it's
That's funny.
he was in there helping because he helped Wayne part time. So
That's cool.
yeah, it was all hands on deck in there for sure. It was a little hectic. So, but that's good. Yep, the bowling center's been great. So far, everything's ran pretty smoothly. So it's excellent.
All right, Zach, I have to let you go because I think you're going to need to go and collect some scores pretty soon.
This is more fun though.
I understand.
Who's coming in after me?
Liz Johnson.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't think you can beat that.
No. No.
But you know what's good news is we have 5 games this afternoon, and you'll definitely make it back into the booth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
Happy to come in here.
All right, so we will be right back. I am going to leave up the bowling. You just won't have any sound, and we'll be right back until this lane comes in. So thanks again, Zach.
Sweet. Absolutely.
All right, we are back. Well, you guys have been here, but now I'm back, and I'm joined by Liz Johnson. Liz, welcome back to the SYC live stream
Good to be
booth.
back. Very good to be back. Just watching a lot of bowling.
Yeah.
Fun.
So what have you seen?
I've seen some really good two-handers.
Yeah.
Dohun.
Yep.
Watching him, I think he had like the front 8, front 7, front 8. Brady bowling next with him.
Yeah.
And watched Dimitri.
Yeah.
He had the front 8 the game before. And then, a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah. So, and we're back. We got some boys to watch this game. We have Mr. Brody Chaderton. Chaderton. He just struck.
Nice little swishing strike.
Yeah. Kind of ho-hum. I'm going to strike and move on.
Make it look effortless, right?
I'm telling you. They are still bowling on a short pattern.
Yes.
Wow. See, Luke's ball took off. See, I promise it's a short pattern.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was like maybe carrying down a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it. For some of the players, they've gotten into the spot where they're left enough, but still right enough with the right angle that they are seeing some hold, which is nice. Like, that's what you're always searching for, right, is the hold.
Right, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Or some that use their ball speed for their hold, or you don't have a ball speed on this, it could just hook right off.
Looks like we have a rogue commenter. So I'm going in to hide some comments right now. It's always fun. Social media is fun, right?
Oh, yeah.
Never a dull moment. All right. And we're back. And we didn't go anywhere. We got rid of some bad comments. All right, we're going to watch Trevor Dodd. He has some people cheering him on. Trevor's getting some spares covered. I want to bring up my strike alert again. Come on, let's strike. Oh, Harrison has the strike alert.
We want to see the doodles.
We got a strike alert.
There you go.
Harrison goes by Harry. Look at his back of his jersey.
Harry Davis.
Harry Davis. I like Harry Davis. It has a good ring to it. Let's see if we have some bios in here too. I'll look for that. Now Trevor Dodd did put one in. I don't see one for Harry though.
Good shot by Harry. Oh, a little trip 4 action.
We'll take that.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need that little break. A little trip 4 for a double.
And
always makes you feel good.
And that strike alert was brought to you by Blake and Adam. Although I think I'm gonna change it to a bark alert this afternoon.
Good shot. Good shot by Luke. Good strike.
Luke, I don't have a bio for you either. But I do have one.
Good double by Brody. Early doubles. You can always have a spare alert too if they're sparing a lot.
Oh, we could do a spare alert. That's a good idea.
Spares, we say spares are just as important.
Or clean game alert.
Clean game alert is good. Yeah.
That would be good. That wouldn't come up as much, I don't think, but it should come up a lot.
The first game, I believe, we would have had a clean game alert.
Yeah.
Oh,
Harry Davis is also, his nickname is the Bowling Ninja.
Ninja. Oh, okay.
Bowling Ninja. I do have a bio for Trevor when he comes back up. Trevor Dodd.
It's a really good shot by Toby with the ring 10 here. Good
Covers
spare.
it.
Good spare.
I'm keeping the strike alert up because Harry could go for another one. And I jinxed it.
Just a little out there.
It's easy to do.
Yes, it is. If you don't get your angles right and it hit that was on like the 1-2 board. Just get outside.
Okay, so Mr. Trevor is from Medford, Oregon.
Oh,
His
yeah.
favorite Pro Bowler is Darren Tang. He bowled in the Oregon State High School. He was on the champion team in the Oregon State High School Championships. He's from North Medford. And he wants to say hello to his coach, Ty, who is bowling in Kentucky today at the Senior Nationals. So good luck, Coach Ty.
One of my favorites growing up, Marshall Holman, I think, is from Medford, Oregon. He bowled there years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Small world. Okay, here's your fact on Harry. He competes in American Ninja Warrior tournaments.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That is very cool and requires a lot of strength and agility and all those things. So that's great.
It probably helps the mental game for bowling.
That's
as well,
true too.
I
Yeah.
would think.
Luke's happy one of his pins fell at the last minute, so he doesn't have a split anymore. Mr. Luke Crosby. I'm loving all these jerseys. I love how kids really, show their style through jerseys nowadays.
They're really pretty, really unique.
Did you unveil any new jerseys this season?
I didn't really.
So maybe that's the missing piece. Next year we need
Next
some
year
new
I'm gonna,
jerseys.
I think, redo some jerseys. I had a pink jersey I did for the Lucy this year, and it wasn't quite right, so
okay.
we redid it, and I'll have it for Monday.
Nice, good,
Yeah.
cool. Can't wait to see it.
I usually go pretty solid colors, pretty, like, for my personality, really just clean and simple.
Yeah, nothing too wild.
Yeah.
I think Toby's jersey has all of the cities in. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's Wyoming, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Which is a cool idea.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you're looking for a jersey idea and you're a tournament organizer,
There you go.
that one is actually really cool, putting all the cities on it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Wyoming. Yes,
Yeah.
I won my quiz.
Good job. And you didn't even see it from the front.
I did it.
The one down there had the Fred Flintstone jersey.
That one's cool too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Gotta love Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have Trevor, who's wearing one of the SYC jerseys, which there are new designs at every tournament, which is really cool. So kids can pick from the designs for their tournament or go back and find one from another tournament.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so lots of kids pick those on the I Am Bowling website. I Am Bowling's a great partner of the SYC. And we'll get them in the live stream booth at some point today to talk a little bit about,
I Am Bowling
yeah.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I Am Bowling, what's happening there. They have a lot of stuff going on, so it's always fun. They brought some new gear. The kids got some hoodies this tournament.
They have some great clothing. I saw that. Those are pretty awesome.
Yeah. Kids love hoodies, that's for sure.
Yes. So do adults.
I know, I was just thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, I love hoodies.
I do too. I was never a big hoodie person up until a few years ago, but
Yeah,
yeah, I love hoodies.
I love it. All right, so Brody he has a 4-bagger to start the game. His 5th and final game of this block before lunch.
You always want to have a good finish. It always gives you a good mindset to finish off with a good game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about if you were bowling this tournament. And let's do a couple scenarios. So
Yeah.
scenario 1 is maybe you didn't have the best block of your entire life.
Yes.
And you're going to lunch.
Yes.
What would you be telling yourself at lunch to come back and bowl 5 more games?
Well, it's a different pattern, right? If you didn't have a good pattern, a good block, you just try to almost forget that block. You try to have some short-term memory and just take a deep breath and you got 5 games in front of you.
Yeah.
And that block is over with. There's nothing you can do about it, and you got to move on. You got to go forward. You can't look back. I mean, you can always reminiscing is probably one of the. It can be good and bad, positive and negative. You learn from it, but if you're in the middle of competition, the worst thing you can do is just reminisce on what you did before. Right. The only thing you can do is move forward and make the next one better.
I love that short-term memory. It's great. All right, we're seeing Bowling Ninja up on lane 14, Mr. Harry. I have another question for you after we watch Harry bowl. Actually, we probably should watch Brody bowl too. Oh, get it! Oh, we got that message. See, that's what being a ninja's all about. Yes. There, that messenger
it's
was
like chop that 10 pin off.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's the ninja.
All right, I'm putting up the strike alert for Mr. Brody.
All right.
Let's see how he does.
All right. Spare by Trevor.
Great spare by Trevor, yeah. At this point in the block, they probably shot a lot of spares, so everyone counts.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I jinxed him. Sorry, Brody. We'll take it down. He'll get 2, though. I have faith in him that he listened at the seminar yesterday where you and Jazz encouraged them on a strike or a string of strikes.
1 pin is 2 pins. Yeah. 2 pins are 4.
Yeah. Okay, so scenario 2.
Okay.
You had a really good block in the morning, and you go to lunch. So what's your mindset for the afternoon? Kind of the same thing? Or?
Yeah. I mean, nice spare. Or you get all 3 of them.
Forget about count. What do we know?
Yeah.
Liz, Brody just showed you. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah. Forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming back. We bowled great this morning. What's the mindset for the afternoon?
Continue doing what you're doing. Stay positive. Get some food. Get some water, liquids in you, and just continue the frame of mind that you had before. Try not to change things up too much. I wouldn't change things up really at all.
Yeah. I like that advice.
Because there's really not much you can do. You just try to stay with a positive mind and mindset and keep doing that.
Oh my gosh. That 7-pin fell and stood back up. It wasn't a 7-pin. I don't know what. I don't know what pin. It might be a 4-pin. I wish I had instant replay. I don't have instant replay, but we can go back and watch it later on the live stream. But that was one of those, like, you clip it, and that was a really bad break.
A lot of stuff happening on live stream today.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Yeah, the live stream pair has not been the luckiest of all pairs in the house today. All right, we're going to get that pin respotted or just out of range. We're going to...
You should just bring the rack up and try not to replace it.
It's a good angle. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be better if they can just bring the rack up.
Yep. See what they're doing. I'm sure Westy's got it.
It does look in between the 4 and the 7. I didn't see the pin fall.
Yeah,
like
I just saw it bounce and come back up. It was too quick for me to even see which pin it was.
Yeah.
But I think it's the 4-pin. I really believe it's the 4-pin. And it just kind of hit the wall and then stood right back up.
That's crazy. That's not good luck for you.
No.
Maybe he'll pick it up. I have faith in him. Matthew's going to pick it up.
I agree. Yeah, why not?
Got a chance. Oh, nice
Got
spare.
it. Got it.
Nice spare.
Take that pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even sure on the replay. We'll have to look, but Matthew might have
Yeah.
been standing in the front
Yeah.
of the pin because he's so tall, so I'm not even sure if we'll be able to see it on the replay. We'll have to look.
Oh, he was on an open, so it's like a 9 spare.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Just a little more exciting.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, he turned around, but he got a Brooklyn.
Yeah. Sure, he'll take that.
And there he looks back and he goes, oh, man.
You know, you turn your back. It's like, oh, well. And you know what? You just think, I'll just use that and make another shot, make it better.
Build on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be a momentum swing, right?
It can be, yeah. Sometimes you need those little breaks, too, to maybe loosen your swing up or just give you a little burst of mental energy.
Yeah. It looks like a spot man formed on lane 13 because I saw Brody's ball just take off too.
Yeah.
And I don't think he hated that shot.
Yeah.
It may have been a little right, but I think that lane is starting to hook
Yeah.
earlier.
There's a lot more urethane, I think, on this pair.
Oh, yeah.
There was more. So I think the fronts are really hooking more.
Yeah.
So just it hits a spot and just takes off.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. But that 1, 2, 3 board, it's just kind of hanging on.
Tricky. That is a tricky way to bowl. Good spare by Trevor.
Also, I've seen, I think it was watching maybe Harrison throw a shot. He had the 10-pin messenger.
Yeah.
And the more they hook, you think you would move left, but on this, you have to almost go closer to the gutter.
Yeah.
Maybe throw it a tad bit slower.
Yeah, so Luke tried to move a little closer to the gutter, and like we've said all day, you know, if you play the gutter, strikes will happen, or gutters will happen.
Yeah. If you move closer to the gutter, also you have to make sure the angle is right to the pocket.
Totally.
'Cause
Yeah. Yeah, those angles. That's been the thing all day, right? Getting those angles right.
angles, yeah. That was a good spare by Luke. Maybe just got a little fast the first shot.
Totally.
It definitely looked tricky out there, though. You hit one, miss it to the left, it's hooking, and miss it to the right, it's just kind of hanging on.
So what you're saying is you're kind of happy you're watching and not bowling today.
Yeah, I'm okay with sitting back here at the moment. But it's amazing what you can see when you're sitting back there, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, that was just, it didn't make it up to the head pin. I liked the shot off Trevor's hand.
Yeah.
He just needs to keep sparing and maybe,
Oh,
oh, jeez.
that's a bad break by
See,
Harrison.
See, this is what you were talking about earlier, where the balls might be burning up
Yeah.
because it's hooking so early in the front.
Yeah. It's so hard when, you're at the end of the block, you're towards the end of the game, and you're striking, but you're close.
Yep.
It's like, do you make the ball change, or do you just try to hang on for those last couple of frames?
Yeah.
It's always a nonstop. Wanted to bounce.
It did. It tried.
That was a tough break.
Very tough. he just said, he's like, I thought that was a good shot. I thought so too. Sorry, Harry.
Yeah, that's where maybe sometimes you could go to like a reactive, maybe it goes a little cleaner through the front to save that energy, but again, it's so close when you only have a couple frames left.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've always
Oh, jeez. See, Brody's ball picked up too. So anyway, yeah.
It could be hooking. I think it's hooking earlier.
So you were saying that would be something that
Something that one of my downfalls over the years is hanging on to a ball for a little too long.
Yeah. So what have you learned about that? Because that's something that I hear coaches talk to the kids about a lot is, getting to the point where you're not afraid to just make that ball change, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to be a little more aggressive as far as changes goes. Some people do it too much. Some people don't do it enough at all.
Yeah.
You know.
You got something in your throat over there. Need to go get a glass of water. Tickle. See, in the live stream booth, there's many incidents that can happen.
Yes. Man. Good shot.
All right, so we are in the 8th frame of our final game of this block. You can see some of the pairs beside this pair have finished up. We're right on time. It's going to be a little bit after 12 when, oh man.
Yeah. He missed that. And I don't know if he's trying to play two different parts of the lane, but he's definitely further right on the right lane and further left on the left lane.
Yeah. Good shot by Toby over there. Good spare. I'm interested to see what Brody does on this shot. So he had a 4 in a row to start. Then the lanes obviously changed a little bit on him. So I'm interested to see what he decides to do here. I don't see another ball in his hand, so I think he's going to stick with the ball that he's been throwing and just make a little ankle move maybe.
Sometimes you just try to grind out the last couple frames.
Yeah, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he still has he has 151 in the 7th, so still a great game.
Sometimes it depends on how the scores are. If the scores are super high, you got to make that change, and if they're low, you just kind of grind it out. And
Right. Yeah, we definitely have some lower scores. See, there's that. That's it. You actually can see it hit it
yeah,
and go straight left.
yeah,
Now, Brody will end on this lane.
yeah.
So I hope he sees that it's not him, because that's the hard part too.
Yeah.
Like, that was not a bad shot.
It could be where he's
Jeez.
kind of like right in between. I think watching earlier, there was a couple guys that were playing in that were striking, but
Yeah.
either got to go way in or go even further right.
Right, like weigh in and trap it, right? Just
Yeah.
like not get it too far to the right.
The way the gutters play here, it's 1, 2, 3 is going to be it might fall off.
I would take that 9, Toby.
Yes.
No problem. Make your spare.
Yeah. Sometimes at this point, you just try to hit the 1, 3 and get your spares and just move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
For some, the short pattern may be the hardest pattern, so they can get it out of the way, and then maybe have their better blocks.
Harry's mom where Grandma, I can't tell, I think it's his mom, is sitting to the left of us, and she put her hand up for the 5-pin, and he said, "Put it down, Mom."
Oh boy.
Good spare. Made it. Yes. So let's see what Trevor's ball does on this tricky lane. That one's
That was
going
a
to go
little bit
left. Oh, actually, it kind of
That
held
was a
there.
good 5-pin.
Yeah.
That was a good, really good 5-pin right there.
Take it, Trevor. Take it.
Also, 13 and 14 being middle of the house. Middle of the house is never fun
No,
to
it's
end
not.
on.
Not at all. Yeah, I'm not sure if 13 and 14 is really the best pair in the bowling center or not. Like, it's just, oh man, Brody. I feel him for this game, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had a game like this, right? Where you start off,
Start with a 4-bagger and not shoot 200.
and it's not very fun.
No, it's not. No.
Oh, poor Brody.
Down there, Ernesto finished out with a 268.
That's amazing.
Great game.
Those are big scores on this pattern,
Yeah.
proving
There's
to
a
be
couple
pretty
of them.
tricky. I'm expecting the medium pattern to play a little nicer this afternoon. I don't think they're forced to play the gutter as much, so.
No.
Oh, good cover.
Good spare.
Good cover by Luke. So it does look like we have a couple pairs that may be behind.
Yeah, this pair 15, 16 just starting. And,
Yeah.
9 and 10 is just starting.
So my camera is set up to hit 13 and 14. So I don't know if I guess I could move it and we could watch 15 and 16, but might try. I'll try in the,
Ooh, good spare.
that was a good spare.
Ooh, good shot.
Man. Oh, good
shot
shot.
by
It did
Toby.
fall.
Yep.
Late fall and pin.
Ooh.
I wonder if Toby's throwing the Nova that he picked up yesterday.
Looks
Got it
like a
drilled.
Nova going down the lane.
Yeah. It's not you, Harry.
What's that?
Hang on a second. Yeah. We have a lot of new bowlers this weekend, so there's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So we were wondering what lane we're starting on the next round. Nice spare by Harry.
All right. A lot of exciting stuff going on today.
Are you hearing what I'm hearing behind? I'm like, I believe the live stream move this weekend might be cursed. Not sure though.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't believe Trevor is going to be too happy with that game, but he's going to come back and have a good block in the afternoon on the medium pattern. Starting
Lot of
fresh.
A lot of games.
Harry did finish out with a 191. Toby 179. Brody gets it to go. So he could finish out for, if he goes out, 198, which take it and move on, right?
Yeah, it looked like Brody moved in a little bit, which is what he needed to do. Definitely hooking out there.
Yeah, I totally made a move.
Yeah.
And that was a good shot.
Changes angle on his feet on the lane.
It's going to be one of those where you just learn something for the next time they'll see that.
Absolutely.
Make that move a little quicker. All right, so he will end with a 187. See Mr. Luke. If he strikes here, he can get to 185. And he does. Gets to 185.
I'm sure he'll take that. That's striking.
So I do think just because we have so many new families, I think we are going to end the stream, kind of help facilitate some of the questions and things that are going on. Liz, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, and we will be back this afternoon for another 5 games of live stream coverage.